Once upon a time, I was a liberal. Well, to be honest, less than a year ago, I was still a liberal. I became a liberal because I felt I'd found a tribe whose values aligned with my own. I staunchly reject racism of any kind. I reject the marginalization of any human being based off of their gender or sexual orientation. I reject tyrannical groupthink. I reject a system which allows an ambitious, misinformed, and dogmatic mob to suppress free speech, create false narratives, and apathetically steamroll over the truth. I reject the acceptance of junk science and superstition to advance ideological agendas. I reject hate. These are the reasons why I became a liberal. And these are the same reasons why I am now walking away. For years now, I have watched as the left has devolved into intolerant, inflexible, illogical, hateful, misguided, ill-informed, un-American, hypocritical, menacing, callous, ignorant, narrow-minded, and at times, blatantly fascistic behavior and rhetoric. Liberalism has been co-opted and absorbed by the very characteristics it claims to fight against. For years now, I've watched as people on the left have become anesthetized to their own prejudices and bigotry, and the prejudices and bigotry of those around them who echo their values. I have watched as formerly sensible people who claim to reject racism have come to embrace the principles of universally hating and blaming all of society's problems on all people who have white skin. I have witnessed the irony of advocacy for gender equality morph into blatant hatred and intolerance of men and masculinity. I have seen the once earnest fight for equality for the LGBT community mutate into an illogical demonization of heteronormativity and the push to vilify and attack our conventional concepts of gender. These same self-proclaimed victims of intolerance now turning on the gay community that they attached themselves to advance their agenda, now calling gay people privileged and themselves victims of injustice. I have watched as the left has allowed themselves to become hypnotized by false narratives and conclusions perpetuated by social justice warriors who misrepresent and misconstrue facts, evidence, and events to confirm their own biases that everyone who does not comply with their prejudicial conclusions and follow their orders is a racist, a bigot, a Nazi, a white supremacist, homophobic, Islamophobic, xenophobic, misogynistic, and alt-right extremist. And I have watched as they've used these heartless and carelessly assigned labels to intimidate, threaten, bully, silence, attack, unemploy, blacklist, and destroy anybody who dares to fight back. They'll come for me, and then they'll come for you. And worst of all, the Democratic Party and the liberal media has embraced, affirmed, aided, and abetted this cult ideology. In an effort to gain voters and maintain power, the Democratic Party that I once loved has joined forces with the extremist left. The Democratic Party and the liberal media now believe their own ill-gotten conclusions and have ominously decided that they, and only they, know the remedy for society's ills. The left has decided that the solution to problems with race relations in America is more racism. The left believes that attacking, insulting, and dehumanizing one group of people elevates another. The left now believes that there are no boundaries when telling lies, omitting the truth, or misrepresenting facts when telling the news, because their end justifies their means. The left has now decided that its point of view is the only acceptable one, and that suppressing, censoring, and banning open dialogue and debate is virtuous and progressive. The Democratic Party has adopted a deleterious belief system, happily and without skepticism, separating people into groups based off of identity, and then organizing them into camps of victims and oppressors. If you are a person of color, an LGBT person, a woman, or an American immigrant, the Democratic Party wants you to know that you are a victim and destined to stay that way. They will insist that you are a victim doomed to exist within a system that is rigged against you, that you are a victim of systemic oppression, that you are a victim of your circumstances, and that no amount of hard work or motivational action will ever allow you to overcome your victimhood or the privilege of those around you. This is perhaps the Democratic Party's greatest and most insidious lie. But if you are a minority in America today, the left-wing politicians and the liberal media don't want you to ever discover this lie. So they bombard us with stories designed to reinforce the narrative that you are in danger, that you cannot succeed. They manipulate your fears and concerns by telling you that you are disadvantaged, disempowered, and disposable to everyone, accept them. They will tell you that you need them. They will tell you that you are only safe under their supervision. They will promise to liberate you from all that chains you. And then they will do absolutely nothing for you. Once upon a time, I was a liberal. But liberalism has changed, and I will no longer be a part of an ideology or political party that represents everything that contradicts my values of unity, equal opportunity, personal empowerment, compassion, and love. So I am walking away, and I encourage all of you to do the same. Walk away.
Calling all stations. Clear the air lanes. Clear all air lanes for the big broadcast.
It is the big broadcast. Happy Hour News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV. Co-host Pamela Dubuque is here. And guess what? Tom Moore, fighter pilot. And our next mayor. He's here too.
And here they are.
Well, we can hope, right? At 312. So how are we today? How's everybody?
Pretty good.
It is amazing. You can't help but be in a good mood when it's this kind of weather.
It is nice.
It is very nice.
Thank you, Rich Thomas.
Next weekend, though, we could be dealing with something a little more frisky,
Yeah.
ferocious. But enjoy the week
really?
ahead.
What's next weekend?
50 and rainy, a little stormy on the weekend.
All weekend?
Yeah.
It's the Talladega race on Sunday.
Mm.
Can we not?
I don't
I
want
need to phone in a favor.
I don't want to ruin Talladega, and
The Biscuits are in town.
and I hope they have a record-breaking turnout for it. But I don't get car racing.
Well, not everybody does.
It's deafening. They're going around a circle. And honestly, I hate to say it, but I think there's people that hope for the spectacular wreck here and there.
And let's be honest, you drive in the Montgomery Demolition Derby every day. So that is a race.
What's going to happen there that can't happen to me on Zelda Road?
That's right.
The way people drive them, but the way they've got that road laid out. And by the way, do we have enough white paint? Oh, don't mean to be a racist. White paint that we could brighten the divider lines and stuff on some of our streets? Do we have a street? They repaved 65 between downtown and going east to Perry Hill. And some of that pavement is already in crap condition.
Just like Carter Hill, there was like a water line issue.
Yes.
And they tore like a foot out of it. And instead of repaving the road, they
I talked
just
about this on Friday.
repaved like a part of it. And it's like all uneven. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
Yeah.
And it's only a 2-lane road. It would be nice. What are they doing all day? What are they doing with our 10% sales tax?
I bet you they had a huge budget for those projects, and they used minimal amount of money, and it went somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, maybe when Tommy Tuberville becomes their next governor, and I believe he's going to be on the show with us tomorrow morning.
Ooh, nice.
Or Thursday. I forget. But he's going to deploy the powers of the governor to get to the bottom of it. So that law that didn't make it, that was sad. The one that would have
Yeah. SB
mandated 2
298.
cops for every 1,000 residents. But the governor has powers to assess the condition of a city and make decisions based on that. So if I'm Stephen Reed, I'm sweating little bullets,
Very little.
Mm-hmm.
waiting for that day to happen. That would be like, what, December 1st?
January of next year, he'll take office.
January of next year. A man who did 1 term in the Senate, stuck to his guns, delivered on everything he promised, but had enough of the lunacy there to say, okay,
I think it'd be fun to have him in the studio when he takes office. Get him in here occasionally.
When anybody remember Governor Bentley?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cringy.
He ended up being cringy,
Yeah.
but the day he was sworn in, he was on the show.
That's cool.
We have had some clout around here.
Yeah. Alabama politics can be as bad as Illinois.
Yeah, I suppose it can, but in Illinois, they passed all these environmental laws, and now one of their liquid natural gas power producers, 900 megawatts worth of energy, said, you know what, we're not wanted here, so we're leaving.
Mm.
And Illinois has no ready alternative to replace it.
Mm.
And it's totally unnecessary. But we got our green badges, so we're happy, right? I just noticed that I have my audio list for last week up. Where's the 20th? It's around here somewhere. Joey usually hides it from me. Couple of interesting court cases, and the way the media plays them. When it doesn't fit the narrative, it goes away. That horrible situation in Louisiana, in Shreveport, you watch, that will disappear because they don't like mass shootings that don't involve young white men. They're not interested. It'll just go away.
Before I got here, I heard there was another mass shooting in New York today. I hadn't heard any details about that yet.
I heard something about North Carolina too. What's going on?
And then we all remember the outrage about that Texas teen who stabbed a teammate at a track meet, killed him.
Doesn't he have a famous athlete's name?
See if I can figure that out here real quick. But the judge in that case has imposed a near complete media blackout. Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
Interesting name.
I would say that.
Funny.
Not the basketball player.
Right.
No, the track star who belongs in prison.
Oh yeah, there was a stabbing in Greenville, North Carolina. Third stabbing victim identified.
The big stories around that. I think the market had a pretty it finished down $4.
Yeah, not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Gold and silver stayed pretty steady today. I think there's still a lot of optimism with the talks in the middle of this week and what'll come out of that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
One thing that's critical here is the president's timelines really have to be met. I mean, first we heard 2 weeks, we'll have control. It's about 6 weeks now, right?
Yeah, this is getting into 6 weeks. Then you start talking about congressional approval for 60 days, War Power Act. It's really sad. I had great optimism Friday with everything going on. And then I think what we're seeing is that the IRGC is not working together with the foreign minister, their parliament. And so, they're agreeing to one thing and the IRGC says no, and then they're doing another. And ultimately, who's going to suffer? It's the Iranian people.
They don't really know who's in charge over there.
No, they have no idea.
We don't know if it's the mullah that was disfigured, the gay mullah. We have no idea who's running Iran right now and who really is an authority to speak or negotiate.
Yeah. Who has control of nefarious acts?
But J.D. Vance is over there, and I have great faith.
Did he leave?
Yeah, I think
it's funny. Some reports are saying he didn't go because Secret Service didn't have enough warning, and others are saying he did. So I think the latest report says Steve Wyckoff, and Jared Kushner are airborne en route. But
that's scary because even when the Secret Service has enough warning, they don't do a very good job, and things happen. 19 minutes after 3 o'clock, a moment with guys who did not have maybe the weekend they expected, or maybe kind of sat it out because they were afraid of failure, that if a romantic moment came along, they wouldn't be able to be up for the occasion. Well, here's the thing. It's a common thing, especially with guys over the age of 40, but I've been to Montgomery Men's Health now almost 3 years for a wide variety of reasons. And I see guys of all ages coming and going because they made a good decision for themselves, recognizing it's a health situation. They have decided to take a medical approach to solutions. That's what it is. It's a board-certified urologist and a great team. I don't talk about them enough, but it's educational, and they explain why your body may not be behaving or reacting the way you like or the way it used to. Stuff that's easily fixed starts with a $99 testosterone test. If that number is low, the good news is it can be quickly adjusted and you experience the most amazing rejuvenation in terms of energy, better libido, you start to function, better caloric burn. Weight can be an issue for some men relative to ED, and if that's you, they can help you lose that weight. And there are options for ED and PE that are not widely advertised. Everybody knows about the pills, but the pills are hardly a guaranteed solution, and they don't work for everybody. So find out what's there. It could change your life totally for the better and on many levels. Call 334-440-3663, 334-440-3663, or visit them online at MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Off to the traffic center. Kipper's first update.
Well, traffic beginning to build all over the area this afternoon as folks begin to get off work. I-65 and 85 light to moderate. Looking the same on the boulevards right now. No real issues anywhere. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka, Montgomery. We will keep you updated. If you have less than perfect credit, McKenna Nissan may have just the plan for you. Talk to David and explore all your options. They'll do everything possible to have you driving today. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up with the Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
It's Prattville City Fest, presented by Prattville Baptist Hospital, May 1st through 2nd in historic downtown Prattville. Live entertainment, arts and crafts, food, and Pepsi products by signature sponsor Pepsi. Prattville City Fest, presented by Prattville Baptist Hospital, May 1st through 2nd in historic downtown Prattville. It's free.
Congressman Barry Moore has always delivered for Alabama. As a member of the House Freedom Caucus, Barry Moore earned a score of 100 from Heritage Action for protecting our values. He's helped thousands of Alabama families, fought for our veterans as a veteran himself, and secured millions for infrastructure, first responders, and public safety. Barry Moore helped pass Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, delivering tax cuts for hardworking Alabama families, and stood strong to secure our borders. Now, Barry is taking that fight to the United States Senate. Barry Moore will defend our freedoms, defend the Second Amendment, protect our children, stand up for parents, and keep boys out of girls' sports while continuing to cut taxes and lower prices. Endorsed by President Trump, Barry Moore is a proven conservative Alabama can trust.
I'm Congressman Barry Moore. I rolled up my sleeves in Congress, and I'll keep fighting for Alabama in the U.S. Senate. I'm Barry Moore, a conservative fighter, and I approve this message.
Approved and paid for by Barry Moore for U.S. Senate.
Join Jones Drugs on Saturday, April 25th, 10 to 2, as they partner with the Police Department for the National DEA Drug Take-Back event. Come by the parking lot of the Prattville, Millbrook, Montgomery, or Phoenix City locations and bring your unwanted, unneeded, or expired prescriptions. That's Saturday, April 25th, 10 to 2.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This is Jennifer Pestricelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. If you're an experienced sales professional ready for more opportunity, more income potential, and more control over your own success, we should talk. At Blue Water, you'll work with local business owners to develop strategic marketing campaigns across 7 radio stations and a growing digital platform, including social, streaming, and targeted advertising. Outside sales experience is required. Media or digital experience is a plus. If you're ready for a career move that rewards performance, send us your resume today. BlueWaterBroadcasting.com.
The premier place the river region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is not headline news. Time released its list of the 100 most influential people. Tiger Woods made the list of 100 most under the influence people. McDonald's now has K-pop demon hunter meals. By the way, the demons that they hunt are parents who make kids get apple wedges instead of fries. QVC declared bankruptcy, so make sure you tell Nana she can now buy the company for 3 easy payments of $19.99. And Top Gun 3 is happening. This time, the sport Maverick plays shirtless will be pickleball. This is not headline news.
You should seek a role as an extra in that movie. The next Tom Cruise Top Gun.
Maverick 3.
You would be perfect.
I'm up for a cameo.
They
need to hire me for military accuracy in movies. I'm always calling stuff out.
How they do hire people for that, and they still don't get it right a lot.
Yeah.
I notice that every time too. It's so irritating.
Wrong uniforms.
Because you know that they pay people to do that.
Yep.
I mean, there are certain things with the uniforms they can't do,
He looks a little
right?
bit like Tom Cruise, too. He could be a stuntman.
You've been drinking today already, haven't you?
I haven't had a cocktail in many years there, son.
You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
But it is 420, and a lot of people are smoking doobies to celebrate that. The market, really no change today, so they don't seem to be particularly nervous about developments in Iran. But we're going to get the straight scoop from David Blackman. That's topic number 1, along with a raft of other things that make the idiocracy what it is, whatever that is. And that's coming up. We're going to start in just a couple of minutes. Sky Mosley standing by. with Blue Water News at 3:26.
News is brought to you by Budget Floors and More, your new best friend.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. The names of 2 people killed in an early Saturday morning crash on I-85 have been released. 36-year-old Salvador Garcia Barrera and 67-year-old Ronald Engel collided head-on. The crash happened around 5 a.m. near Midline, just before the Chantilly Parkway exit. Both victims died at the scene. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. Wetumpka police are investigating a Sunday afternoon shooting that left a person in critical condition. The shooting happened at the Rev convenience store at the intersection of Coosa River Parkway and Highway 14, where the victim was shot multiple times. According to Wetumpka Police Department, a suspect has been taken into custody. No additional details have been provided. A woman has been arrested for allegedly attempting to steal more than $2,000 worth of merchandise from Walmart. Shania Mashant and a teenage girl were detained by a loss prevention officer at the Ann Street Walmart on Friday night. Both suspects later admitted they were stealing items to resell on someone else's orders. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Del Rey to Publix.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the River region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of health care you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients, from making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly to getting to know you and your family's needs and following up on any questions you may have. Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing. It's time to schedule your spring tune-up with Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing. Don't wait. Schedule today. Give them a call at 334-277-2125. Alabama certification number 88007.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We are looking at a nice temperature rebound this week after that setback. Tonight's still jacket weather, though. Mostly clear skies. Overnight low temperature by dawn tomorrow morning down to 49. But a nice day tomorrow with plenty of sunshine. High temperature Tuesday up to about 82. I think we're in the mid-80s on Wednesday and Thursday with more sun. Small chance of showers pops up Friday, but a better chance of some stormy weather with showers and thunderstorms over the upcoming weekend. We'll keep an eye on that system for you. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
It's 420, man.
Awesome! A snacker, a backpacker. I'm a drummer and packy stacker. I play my bongos in the sun. I'm a joker, a funk smoker. I'm an all-day toker. I get my weed with a prescription. Ooh, ooh.
What are you people? On dope?
As the 21st century began, natural selection, the process by which the strongest, the smartest, the fastest reproduced in greater numbers than the rest, a process which had once favored the noblest traits of man, now began to favor different traits. A dumbing down. How did this happen? Evolution does not necessarily reward intelligence. With no natural predators to thin the herd, it began to simply reward those who reproduced the most and left the intelligent to become an endangered species.
David Blackman and Greg Budell present Tales of the Idiocracy.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
We now travel via the internet to somewhere in Texas, Dallas and vicinity, I hear, for the man with the 10-gallon brain. In fact, we have a song called The Man with the 10-Gallon Brain in production, which we hope to introduce this segment. Yes, made for you, exclusively for you. David Blackman, blogger extraordinaire, oil and gas industry expert, just the guy we need on a Monday where there's so much news involving oil and gas and places that make it. How are you, David?
Just lovely, man. It's a great day in Texas.
It's a really nice day here, too. But as always, a state of anxiety exists, and it all starts in Iran. And who to believe? Now, today, the market didn't lose its mind, didn't get jittery. It didn't go up or down. It just kind of stayed flat. What is happening? Oh, by the way, Tom Moore, our F-15 pilot.
Hey, David, happy Monday. We've got Pamela in the house today, too.
What's up?
Hey.
He's training. They're training together.
Yeah, I'm making sure that Tom can handle the stream.
Not liver training, computer training.
So, I mean, we've heard we knocked off a bunch of mullahs. There was a gay mullah that survived. And then who are we talking to over there these days? Who is JD going to meet with?
Well, they're meeting with representatives of the civilian government. For what that's worth, apparently they're not in charge of anything. You know, they agreed to a ceasefire a couple of weeks ago, and the IRGC, the military, didn't get the record or the message, and the Ayatollah is probably dead. So, you know, normally the Iranian government functions with a hierarchy of the Ayatollah at the top. And then the civilian government reports in through the military. But because we've decapitated, 3 layers of their civilian government at this point, the military doesn't believe it has any reason to be reporting to them, and is just kind of out there operating as an independent unit from the government. And so, you know, making a deal with whoever the nominal president and prime minister are doesn't mean anything. So I just, you know, and we talked about this 3 weeks ago. I just don't see any way we get a resolution to this without further military action. And I just think the president has leaned over backwards in the hopes of getting some deal that might work. But I just don't think it's possible.
Well, I noticed that gas prices dropped a few cents, nothing significant. I'm glad to see that they peaked.
They're going back up.
Tell us why.
Well, the oil price went up today, but it didn't go all the way back up to where it was on Friday, but it's halfway there, and it would get the other halfway there the longer this lingers. But, you know, the market is 7 or 8 million barrels a day undersupplied. There's nowhere for the price to go but up. And even once you know, the market reacted to the exuberance of the supposed reopening of the strait on Friday. And then it got shut down within 24 hours again. And the market is hopeful that this negotiation that supposedly is going to happen tomorrow, I guess, is going to do something. But in reality, this is a situation that isn't going to be resolved this way. And the thing is about our markets in the United States, our economy is just so strong and robust that all of this displacement right now isn't really negatively impacting corporate earnings and, you know, the normal market signals that the traders react to. So that's why you're seeing these muted responses. And plus, you know, even though gas prices have gone up about $1 a gallon since the start of this thing, they're still $1 lower than where they were in 2022. I mean, it hasn't just busted through the roof, right? And so that's even been fairly muted. And the markets look at this and think, well, the impacts of that, it's going to slow the economy to some extent, but it's not going to put us in a recession.
Right.
And so until they see prices, gas prices going way up further, I think the stock market's going to be okay, and hopefully that won't happen.
I challenged that with the audience last week. Why was it in 2023, I think, we were paying this per gallon with no war, except on the American people by the Biden administration? Where were all the hand-wringing and gnashing of teeth for that? And then I went back to 2008, that summer. I know it was over $4 a gallon here. Well, that would be the equivalent of paying $6.72 a gallon today.
Right.
So it has been far higher in the past, just for perspective.
Much higher,
but it still doesn't have a positive impact on the economy, which is why we hope for quicker resolution on all this stuff. Now, Trump's been saying a deal's at hand, but he said this before, and I want to believe him.
Yeah,
I want to believe him. And Iran says they're not negotiating. So who do you believe? I find it hard to believe anything the Iranians say.
Oh, I don't believe a word.
They did say that they are going to send delegates to Pakistan tomorrow.
Mhm.
So they said they weren't. Now they are. But you're right. You cannot trust the Iranians. That is an understatement. And so even if they do agree something like they did on Friday, the IRGC is going to do something different. I think one way or another this will get resolved in about 2 weeks. One thing that David talked about that I don't think a lot of people pay attention to is they're running out of room to put their oil. So they're going to have to cap off their pumps and their wells. And what happens, what David said is that's going to long-term reduce the output. And so they're going to lose long-term income because once you shut those off, and David, correct me if I'm wrong, I think water seeps back in, and then you're going to lose 20 to 30% output. And that's a significant dent in their income. And so you would think that would register in their brains like, okay, let's not do that.
But they don't think like we do. They do not think like Western people.
No, it's I think right now it's pride. Is the IRGC does not want to admit defeat. And so I think when they don't have bridges or electricity come Thursday, that will change things. And so and
you know
it's
what they're
sad.
like, the IRGC, they're the Black Knight from Monty Python's The Holy Grail.
Yep.
Where the guy King Arthur cuts his arm off. He's it's just a skin wound. It's just a scratch,
it's just tis but a flesh wound.
Tis but a flesh wound. Yes.
No, and it's sad because the people that suffer are the Iranian people, and by and large, they're a good people led by not so good people. And the IRGC, you got to remember, that is not the Iranian military. That is a separate faction of hardliners, completely separated from regular Iranian military. And sadly, there's the ones that are nefarious and can change what is in an agreement. But
we have our first call of the afternoon.
Got one thing, Tom. I don't understand who it is, which faction is the ones lobbing bombs at tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. Is it the IRGC or the standard military?
Yeah, that is the IRGC that's doing that. And so they control the fast boats that are on the coast. So think of these as speedboats with 50 cal machine guns. They're the ones that fired at the Iranian tanker on Saturday. Sorry, Indian tanker on Saturday. They're the ones that control the drones, the ballistic missiles.
Yeah.
But David, 0 ships passed through the strait today.
That's the latest information I saw. Yeah. And this is the first day in 6 weeks. So nobody passed this today.
If I was advising the Iranian government 6 weeks ago, I would have said, just tell them what they want to hear. And because they thought there would be no repercussions.
Yeah.
They didn't think Trump was going to hit them. So now just lie to the Americans. Just say, hey, no, we're not going to do nukes. And then just continue doing your nefarious act. But this hard line of, no, we're not going to give up enrichment. We're not going to open up the straits. That is not going to bode well for them. I don't know where that, in their rationale, that is a winning situation for them.
But didn't 60 Minuets report Sunday that during the Obama administration, the International Atomic Energy Agency found Iran already had enough enriched uranium to make 10 to 12 nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
And Obama did absolutely nothing.
Assalamu alaikum.
And we all know why.
Yeah, that was a good piece that 60 Minutes did. I watched it yesterday, and how difficult it would be for us to get in and actually get that HEU compared to other countries where we actually had a written agreement. Hey, come in and get it. This case where you'd have to send in 1,000 Marines, do border protection, bring in bulldozers, excavators, find it, then extract it. And I don't see that happening either. I think the latest that I saw is they're trying to get the Iranians to give it to Pakistan. So Pakistan, as you know, is a nuclear armed country. Pakistan kind of is like a frenemy, right? So they'll play both sides, but I'd rather have Pakistan have the uranium than Iran. So I think that is a viable option that may transpire this week.
Well, how could Barack Obama be so confused about whose side he's on?
You are absolutely right that John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith, and you're absolutely right that has not
Christian
come my Christian faith. Yeah.
Because I always have to be reminded, what am I? You know, I forget so quickly. Not to mention that I put on the back of my book that I was the first Kenyan-born senator to make it into the U.S. Senate.
Yeah.
And then, oh no, that's not true. Here's what you're supposed to believe. And I didn't go along with it. I still don't believe his birth certificate is real either.
Absolutely.
You?
Oh, hell no. No, it's
Total
completely
BS.
fake.
When is Trump going to drop that bomb?
His whole bio is fake.
You know what's most interesting? So I have senior military leaders that worked at the White House, both under the Bush administration and Obama, and then also during the transition. And believe it or not, said who that was running the White House? It was Michelle Obama. They said that they were most scared of her and that she was really running things behind the show. Yeah.
Sounds like
yeah, she's the big dog.
Yeah. I'm scared of her.
Have you seen her shoulders?
Well, I mean, she has that look in her eye.
Don't make me open a can of whoop-ass, Buster.
Yeah. I mean, she's got that special magic going on.
Magic Mike.
So Trump's optimism can be placed in part to talking with mostly the civilian government there. Seems like they want this over with. But these forces that still exist and apparently don't mind if they die in the process. What is the next move if these negotiations fail and nothing else works? Is that an invasion of Karg Island?
I don't know. I mean, I don't see how you can return the flows of not just oil, but all these other products that are being held up in the Persian Gulf to normal without eliminating Iran's ability to control Karg Island and the Strait of Hormuz. And that, you can control Karg Island without actually putting boots on the ground. You can just, bomb tell the tankers if they dock there, we're going to bomb you. So, I mean, that would eliminate that as a problem. But the Strait of Hormuz, the military forces that are able to lob these missiles and drones at shipping are, they're dug in, they're in highly fortified bunkers, and, I don't know what all kinds of other protection from bombing raids and things like that. So it seems to me that's an awful risky military operation to take them all out and eliminate that issue. But I don't see how this resolves itself without doing that. The alternative is a U.S. surrender, and I don't think Trump can do that.
No, the blockade will suffocate them. I think 2 weeks, they're done. They're going to run out of internal fuel. I wouldn't go as far as to say I'm going to hit bridges and power plants. I would never advise the president to name what targets you're going to hit. And if you take out their power, that shuts down their oil production as well. And it takes a long time to rebuild power plants. So you don't really want to do that. I think continue with the blockade and just suffocate them. $435 million a day of GDP lost, that hurts real quick. Mm-hmm. So, and then, like I said,
these IRGC fanatics care about that? I don't think they care about that. But these are fanatics who don't give a damn about people's lives.
That is certain, but they probably want to enrich uranium and rebuild their forces, and you can't do that without money, and that's their sole income. But it's going to be an interesting week for sure. Like I said, I felt really good Friday, and man, I was just disheartened this weekend. I'm just like, man, what are you guys thinking? And by these guys, I mean the Iranians. But yeah, we'll find out.
I just wish it would wrap up quickly because, of course, what polling have you seen on this situation now, David? Anything that has Trump taken a major hit?
I mean, nothing's really changed. It's not a popular military action for the president, and that's harming the whole party. And, I mean, he needed to have a quick resolution to it. He hasn't gotten it. And the longer it lingers, the more it's going to hurt.
And for now, there's one benefit in that the Democrats are fully failing to exploit it, while they've got their own little guerrilla warfare going on within the party. The fall of Eric Swalwell was a glorious thing last week. Hardly hear about the guy anymore.
No, he's disappeared pretty fast. The media loves to make these scandals go away when it's a Democrat involved. If Swalwell was a Republican, he'd still be the lead story on every newscast in America. But, that's just the way it goes.
I have to play for you what is one of my favorite clips of the whole year. I played it last week, but I don't know if I played it during the Idiocracy or if I played it Friday. But it's absolutely my favorite clip involving all these bad boys in Iran sharing the tab. And it's Lauren Boebert, who herself is, in my opinion, a very attractive, sexy woman, the kind of that bookish, but with the glasses off, That's a long story.
But at least she didn't get caught at a school auditorium playing with Mr. Winky. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, wait.
She's telling people not to. She's like, you need to go to church while you're so horny. And then kind of the pot calling the kettle black there. But.
This is her addressing allegations on Capitol Hill involving Swalwell and Tony Gonzalez saying, well, listen to her say it.
Yeah, go to church. Find Jesus. Why is everybody so horny here? Yeah, go to church. Find Jesus. Why is everybody so horny here?
Isn't it? I love that.
That is a little hypocritical.
On her part?
A little,
Yeah.
Well, I will stand for her defense and say she's just a very sexually healthy woman.
Yeah, that's fine. Take one stance or the other, though.
Yeah. One stance or the other. As we...
Oh, they didn't hear the audio on the clip.
But back to your question about polling, I think the poll should ask Americans this.
Who's this?
Do you want to pay $4 a gallon for gas, or would you rather have an axis of evil removed? And the $4 a gas it's temporary.
Yes.
So can you suffer temporary economic pain for better global peace? I think that's the question you should be asking. But everybody just wants instant gratification, and sometimes things are messy, and it's a little messy right now. But
we are taking calls.
I wanted to overthrow the government 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they all had
Get
it,
on the
like David
bandwagon.
pointed out, they all had a chance, including Ronald Reagan. Everybody's been talking about Iran, and at the end of their term, they kick it down to the next guy who does nothing, and just to find out that they had 12 weapons, we're pretty damn lucky they never got a chance to fire one of those, because I think really they're the only country on the planet that would do it.
Well, to be clear, they didn't say they made the bombs. They had enough uranium to do it if they had the capability to do it.
Yeah. And I don't think
capability plus intent equals threat.
Right.
And I don't think they're dumb enough to use it, but I think they're dumb enough to give it to Hamas, Hezbollah, or Houthis who are. And then they can claim plausible deniability. It wasn't us.
Right.
Where did they get it from? And then that's even worse, because then, if Hamas did something illicit, does that justify going to war with Iran, even though you could prove, so it just makes it even more messy. So
I love it when we're going
sheet of glass.
He
That's
says
all
we're
I'm
going to
gonna
bomb
say.
Iran back to the Stone Ages. They're already there.
Yeah.
So when did they emerge from the Stone Age? I missed that. That cotillion. Red Top Good to hear from you. You're on with David Blackman, Tom Moore, Pamela Dubuque, and this other guy.
Oh, David, you're on NTD News now almost every day, aren't you?
Well, not almost every day, but they call me usually at least once a week. I haven't heard from them
Well,
yet today.
MTV News?
Yeah,
No,
what?
No.
NTD News. They are
NTD.
super good.
NTB.
Yeah.
Okay.
November Tango Bravo.
I thought he said MTV
Yeah,
too, and I
like-
was like, "What?" I didn't
I'm
get
just
the
thinking
memo.
of
Kurt
David. I
Loder's
didn't
back.
hear. He's introducing the newest
No,
boy
it's-
bands.
It's November Tango Delta, NTD.
But David,
Oh, okay.
David, I've been trying to get people to watch that. That's maybe the best, most precise news. Tiffany Meyer with China
Tiffany Meyer's
Focus is
fantastic.
amazing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I was just walking through the room, and I'd never seen you before. I heard your voice. I went, wait. Yes, now I know who you are. I saw you twice last week, sir, I do believe.
Oh, good. Well, good. I'm glad they're rerunning me.
Yeah. Well,
I thought-
Greg, you ought to check out NTD News. These guys are big shots. They're the free Chinese people. They broadcast out of New York, and they have the best shows. Vital Signs is the best health show I've ever seen in my life. It's on Saturday, and you're kind of a health nut, or at least a nut, because you're in the entertainment business, and I'm a musician, so I'm a nut. That's why I'm still always amazed, David. Why would anybody listen to any artist on any political matter? Because we're all crazy anyway. You know what I mean? Great to talk to you guys. Y'all have a great time. Roll Tide.
Good to hear from you, my
No
friend.
problem.
Thank you.
Yeah,
War Eagle.
NTD News is affiliated with the Epic Times. Are you familiar with the Epic Times?
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
very much.
So and it's a digital, it's web based. Also, if you're ever in Japan, turn on Japanese public broadcasting. You might find me there too.
Wow.
Interesting.
Somehow, I have no idea how they found me, but they started calling me too. So.
Interesting.
And yet you're here with us.
I know you're an
Here I am.
international phenom.
Gracing us
Here I
with your
am.
presence.
I think we should take our top of the hour break here. And before we do, though, more indication of the Idiocracy. Recall that D.C. was the location of that first commercial air collision that we've had in a long, long time. That was last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out it's a busy corridor, and it was a military helicopter that was flying.
Yeah.
Army
a little bit
Blackhawk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't a DEI pilot, was it?
No. It was a female co-pilot and a male pilot.
And why did they violate the?
They weren't squawking, and they were not flying assigned altitude.
That's dangerous in that area.
That why they even fly those helicopters around the Potomac
Yeah,
with
it's
so
crazy.
the DCA is one of the busiest airports in the world, and why would you? And it's really a time saver. So they have all these Hueys and Blackhawks flying congressmen, senators, VIPs because of DC traffic. So it's just a time saver, and they're flying below, airliners, and it's and they had warnings for years how unsafe it was, how many disasters were avoided. So it's horrible.
If Pete Hegseth ever tunes this show, and he's going to steal him from us, I believe it. Well,
Yeah, you
let's grab a call from Papa B.
All right, guys.
And gals.
Hey.
Well, disappointing news. All of a sudden, things look like they're turning sour on these Iran negotiations and such. But are you all surprised? I'm not.
No, you can't get too optimistic with any of this.
Not really. But, given the fact that the Democrats really are pulling for Iran to be ended.
That's
Pretty
the
much
thing
all
that
of the-
gets me, and the Republicans need to exploit that. They're waiting for Iran to win, us to lose, whatever the worst possible outcome, so they can run with it. They're openly rooting against our country and Donald Trump succeeding on this.
Absolutely. And not only that, but since, I'm going to just say it's the deep state and or other, some sort of connections that go deep, that run deep and behind in the shadows. David, would it surprise you, sir, to learn that there are people that have, said, look, y'all don't give up over there. Let's keep this thing going.
Of course. Yeah,
So,
of course there are.
Yeah, right. I think that's more than likely what's happening. More of what's happening than not. Or, I mean, maybe they are just, I mean, they are that stupid and they are that prideful and they are that stubborn and, you know, they're kamikaze style people. But, you know, they're also tools of the, you know, shadow world. So I think that's what's happening, a lot of it. I mean, tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, I don't think you're wrong. I'd be shocked if Barack Obama and John Kerry haven't been talking to the Iranian government while all this has been going on. No, I'm serious. I'm not kidding about that. That's not a
Ketchup,
joke.
treason, execution.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for letting me
Sure.
chime in.
Thanks for calling 272-9228 if you'd like to get in and have a spot when we come back. I mentioned that, I don't know if you heard this clip, and Tom, this should interest you. Pilots who are making cute little animal noises while communicating with the control tower.
You guys need to be professional, time.
Meow, 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 meow.
This is why you're still flying RJ.
The control tower said, this is why you're still flying RJ, meaning regional jets. Yeah, that's actual control tower audio with pilots who were playing Pussycat.
I wish they'd knock that off right meow. You got to remember, pilots are just grown kids wearing pajamas, especially in the military. We're all kids at heart. But the funny thing about it is you have plausible deniability because they can't tell who's making the communication.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the funny thing, there was one that just came out. There was a pilot that was on hot mic, which means he's holding the button down, and he thought he was talking to his co-pilot, and he was talking about the decline in aesthetics with flight attendants over the years, and how his achievability rating at the bars after flights had gone down because of the sexual preferences of flight attendants these days, the aesthetics, et cetera, the age, and it was all over ATC, but you can't prove who it was.
funny.
So, like,
I haven't flown in a long time, but the aesthetics were diminishing.
Yeah.
After Pan Am. Where do you go from that?
He was basically
I
saying
mean-
it's just a bunch of gays and grandmas, and that he's not scoring at the bar. It was kind of funny, but kind of not. But yeah, like I've never done anything professional on the radio, but unless you say your call sign, like this is Delta 2689, and then you say something stupid, you can't prove who it was. So just let the meows continue.
I have relationships with no less than 5 different American airlines, and they're all out of business. I don't know what the relationship is. Well, enough about tales from the old days. We got to take our top of the hour break here. We'll come back with David on the other side, and we have plenty to talk about. Find David Blackman's blog at davidblackman.substack.com for energy. It's blackman.substack.com. If you want informed inside opinions on everything that's happening relative to Iran, gas prices, all of it, this entire universe, this man is your guy. David, we'll see you on the other side of this.
All right.
Okay, at 3:59, family crisis. Maybe you know somebody who's having a family crisis, divorce, somebody from the past who's trying to change an existing agreement, things that can turn your life inside out. Don't let it happen. Don't give it the power. That's a power that we give away when we're confronted. That's the first mistake in a crisis. Asking for help is step 1. Getting the right help is step 2. And that's Dana Delk and Jacqueline Tomlinson from Delk and Tomlinson, attorneys at law, who can assess the situation. Say, here's where you're at. Here's where you want to be. Here's how we're going to get you there. Follow along. And let them deal with the emotions and all the angst that goes with it. Give it up. Giving it to somebody who is better equipped to provide the legal leadership you need when there's something like that going on. May not be your life, but if you know somebody who is, please, again, 819-4810 in the 334. Their website details all of their services in family law available to those of you who live in Alabama. And the web address for that is the alabamafamilylawyers.com for Delk and Tomlinson, attorneys at law.
A representation is made that the quality of legal services performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
At 4.
Traffic is brought to you by Skipper Pools. Skipper Pools for weekly service, equipment and liner replacements, and a sparkling pool all year. 356-0237. Skip the rest. Call the best. Skipper Pools.
Here's Gibber.
Well, my goodness, still looking good around the area. Montgomery, Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka. Traffic definitely building around the Montgomery area. Boulevards, interstates, Taylor Road, Atlanta Highway, Fairview Avenue, Norman Bridge, all light to moderate and building. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka, no issues there. We will keep you updated. Haynes Ambulance, there for you both on the ground and in the air. From a simple patient transport to life or death situations, Haynes is ready at a moment's notice. Buckle up with Jay, Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
My radio dial never strays.
What's up, G? This show doesn't have a topic. Those are things that you have to have as a human. Thanks for wasting my time.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better Business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
Alabama's law enforcement leaders put their lives on the line every single day. They need an attorney general who has their back. Katherine Robertson has spent a decade on the front lines of Alabama's toughest battles. She doesn't bend, she doesn't back down, and she doesn't play politics. As attorney general, she'll make sure violent offenders are locked up and stay locked up. That's why sheriffs and police chiefs from every corner of this state are proudly standing behind Katherine Robertson for attorney general.
This is Katherine Robertson. I am honored to earn the trust of law enforcement. I've spent my career fighting for Alabama families, and I'm just getting started. I'll stand with President Trump to deport violent illegals and ensure our law enforcement has the support they need. Because in Alabama, if you commit a crime, you pay for it. No excuses. Visit KatherineForAG.com to join the fight.
Paid for by Robertson for Attorney General, P.O. Box 50063, Birmingham, Alabama 35253.
When did watching TV go from a way to relax to a complicated chore? Well, if you're sick of huge cable bills or endlessly searching for the show everyone's talking about, then welcome to Philo. Philo's the streaming service that respects both your time and your wallet, without needing to cut the stuff you actually love to watch. This means live TV for more than 70 channels like Hallmark, History, A&E, and Lifetime, plus a huge library of blockbuster movies and classic shows, and an easy-to-use unlimited DVR that lets you save anything you want, skip all the ads when you watch. The best part? You get all this for just $25 a month when you sign up at Philo.tv. No hidden fees, no long contracts, just a genuinely great deal. And new users can try it completely free for 7 days. So head to Philo.tv, that's PHILO.tv, and experience a better way to TV. Subscriptions auto-renew at monthly rate plus applicable taxes. Cancel anytime. See terms at Philo.tv.
Rise and shine, morning glories. Oh, come on, dude. Wake up!
You can't control interest rates. You can't control housing inventory. And you definitely can't control what the national news decides to panic about this week. But here's what you can control. You control your timing. You decide when it's the right time to buy, when it makes sense to refinance, and when to tap into your equity to renovate, invest, or consolidate debt and free up monthly cash flow. Real estate decisions aren't one size fits all, and they shouldn't be driven by headlines or social media noise. They should be based on your goals, your finances, and your life. The smartest moves happen when you focus on what you can control and work with someone who helps you see the full picture. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
And this is a painting of my grandfather.
the only one he ever had made. Sometime, take a close look around your house. This sewing machine was my Aunt Mary's. If you have possessions that are irreplaceable, consider this. Each year, over 65,000 American homes suffer a fire due to an electrical problem. Are our possessions safe? To know for sure, call Crosby Electric, your exclusive provider of Current Safe, the world's foremost home diagnostic system. Using high-tech equipment, Crosby Electric will check your hidden wiring, panel box, light switches, and electrical outlets to pinpoint potential problems and make sure your things are safe. Oh, my daughter's second grade art project. I'd die if something happened to this. Some things can't be replaced by insurance. Don't wait another day. Call 272-2085 for an in-home no-obligation assessment or visit crosbyelectric.com. Don't just think it's safe. Know it's safe.
Now you'll be safe with Current Safe.
Congressman Barry Moore has always delivered for Alabama. As a member of the House Freedom Caucus, Barry Moore earned a score of 100 from Heritage Action for protecting our values. He's helped thousands of Alabama families, fought for our veterans as a veteran himself, and secured millions for infrastructure, first responders, and public safety. Barry Moore helped pass Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, delivering tax cuts for hardworking Alabama families, and stood strong to secure our borders. Now, Barry is taking that fight to the United States Senate. Barry Moore will defend our freedoms, defend the Second Amendment, protect our children, stand up for parents, and keep boys out of girls' sports while continuing to cut taxes and lower prices. Endorsed by President Trump, Barry Moore is a proven conservative Alabama can trust.
I'm Congressman Barry Moore. I rolled up my sleeves in Congress, and I'll keep fighting for Alabama in the U.S. Senate. I'm Barry Moore, a conservative fighter, and I approve this message.
Approved and paid for by Barry Moore for U.S. Senate.
Sam, hold your position. We'll be with you in just a couple of minutes with David Blackman. When we return right now, we have Salem Radio Network News.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With current news, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Pakistan is preparing for new talks between the U.S. and Iran, even as tensions rise around the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. seized an Iranian cargo ship over the weekend, accusing it of evading a blockade. Iran's military has vowed to respond, calling U.S. actions disingenuous. 2 people have been confirmed dead after a mass shooting at Lineback Park in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Police say a planned fight involving 2 young people led to the shooting. Mortgage rates lingering right below 7% after reaching a 4-week low last week. Bankrate.com says a weekly national average for the 30-year mortgage rate has hit 6.36%. Oil prices climbed following the latest tensions between the U.S. and Iran, but the moves were modest, more so than they were earlier in the war. At the closing bell on Wall Street, the Dow was down, but just by under 5 points. This is SRN News.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Truckers, listen up. A $2,500 sign-on bonus only at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Work for a company that puts God and family first. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines work for the best in the business.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We are looking at a nice temperature rebound this week after that setback. Tonight's still jacket weather, though. Mostly clear skies. Overnight low temperature by dawn tomorrow morning down to 49. But a nice day tomorrow with plenty of sunshine. High temperature Tuesday up to about 82. I think we're in the mid-80s on Wednesday and Thursday with more sun. Small chance of showers pops up Friday, but a better chance of some stormy weather with showers and thunderstorms over the upcoming weekend. We'll keep an eye on that system for you. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
David Blackman coming up.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Here in the River region, thousands of hardworking folks will be buying a home, some for the first time. How do you know you are buying the right home? It starts with research. A buyer's agent can help you in your search, providing a list of homes you may not be aware of or know about. At the same time, a meeting with a local lender to find out exactly what you qualify for and how much it will cost at closing and monthly. A list of needs and wants provided to your agent will help them locate properties that match those needs. An example would be bedrooms, baths, school zones, floor plan requests will also help. Start shopping and look at homes and compare and make a list of pluses and minuses for each home. Compare them with your agent to narrow the field. After you work out the contract, appraisals and inspections come next, and then the closing. For more details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883. That's 221-2883.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Hunger doesn't always look the way you think, but it's closer than you realize. On Saturday, May 9th, join the Budget Bites battle at the Heart of Alabama Food Bank and turn awareness into action. Teams will go head-to-head, creating a full meal for $5 per person or less in just 60 minutes. Every $1 raise provides 5 meals for neighbors in need. Now we need you. Register your team today at hafb.org. Deadline is May 2nd. Be part of the solution. Cook with purpose. Fight hunger one meal at a time.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
Going back to our exploration of the Idiocracy, the Idiocracy wants to know who's going to be the new James Bond. The owner of the Bond franchise has a suggestion.
Jeff Bezos, the entertainment world is buzzing about who I shall choose as Amazon's next James Bond. Now, whoever portrays 007 should be a man of class, so it should be someone who's rich, like real rich. He should exude experience, so, I don't know, a man in his 60s, say? Oh, and confidence. What says confidence more than a man who's proudly bald? Oh, and of course, it would be preferable if he already had his very own smoking hot Bond girl with ample bosom, full pouty lips, and looks great in a bikini on a mega yacht. Yes, when I think of who that might be, one name springs to mind. Bezos. Jeff Bezos.
Why not? Although he's more like a villain kind of guy than a Bond kind of guy.
Definitely.
Greg Goodell, Pamela Dubuque, Tom Moore, David Blackman from Texas, Sam on the phone. Good afternoon.
You know, when I think about who should be the next Bond, I think Terry Adams. That's who he just described.
They're
Terry,
real and they're spectacular.
That's him.
That's if you don't know the Seinfeld quote, she was.
Oh
on
yeah, no, I remember that.
Real.
She stumbled in the steam room.
Yeah.
Nice trip.
She had both her hands out when she tripped. Anyways, you know, I keep farm cats, and so I hear it all the time. I've got a litter right now, and they're talkers. And I think a lot of that goes back to, on the farm, we listen to talk radio. So the kittens, they're being raised on talk radio. And I'm just, that's so bad. Hey, look, in all seriousness, speaking about the airline, back in the 90s, I used to fly a lot up through Central America and working around. And TACA was my favorite airline that I'd fly. It was a Latino airline, and they had actual. They weren't flight attendants. They had air stewardesses. Yes, sir. And psychologically, it makes a difference. It's nice to have someone pleasant come up, armed with a drink, and then the space was a little more.
Didn't one of their pilots land a 737 on a levee in a storm? If I'm not mistaken, that was that airline. Yes,
I wouldn't be surprised because there's all kind of people's standards. The airline industry is very good about airports and airstrips and runways, but still, maintenance is money, and they wear out. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if somebody put one down on a levee.
It was emerging from a beating it took in a ice storm.
Yeah, no, listen, 99, I did El Nino. I did a lot of hurricane relief and whatnot, worked through the military. And it was amazing, the damage, the water damage. Just one good storm could come through, just blow everything out.
Oh my gosh, it did. I just
You looked it up?
Yeah.
Are you impressed that I knew that?
May 24th, 1988.
An amazing, miraculous lander.
A brand new 737.
Holy smokes.
Fully loaded, too. And the pilot was blind in one eye.
Oh!
Any aircraft?
He was shot in the head in an attempted hijacking, survived, and went back to flying.
What?
Any aircraft history? These are from a friend.
I know.
Somebody there was cat noises coming over the radio. It was terrible.
Yeah, that was the pilot at DC.
Greg, you're the man. Gregory, you are the man. Yes, you are.
I appreciate that,
I
Sam.
love your show.
Thank you.
Yes, all right. That's all I got. Just meow.
Feel free to join us at 272-9228 with David Blackman this afternoon as we explore the never-ending American idiocracy. We're seeing all of these things but the Democrats right now are almost self-immolating in so many different ways. Let's go to California for a second. Steve Hilton now leads the polling out there. But what's the real threat from Tom Steyer?
Well, he's leading. Right. In the jungle primary, Hilton still runs at the top of the heap. He's one of only two Republicans in that primary, and there's about a dozen Democrats splitting up their vote. And so, Hilton's getting right around 20% of the vote in all the polls, or support in all the polls in the jungle primary. But him and the other was Chad Bianco, the sheriff of Riverside County, the two Republicans that are in it, are only totaling to about 35 or so percent of the vote. So only the top two go, and Steyer's been running pretty consistently second in the jungle primary. So you get out of that, and it's head-to-head between Hilton and Steyer, or any Democrat, and the Democrat's going to win. And the only hope to have a Republican governor come out of all this would be for Hilton and Bianco to finish 1 and 2 in the jungle primary. And that won't happen because the Democrats will just make up as many ballots as they have to get Steyer or Xavier Becerra or whoever they want to rig it for to get into second place. And so, I like Steve Hilton. I wish he could be governor, but he's not going to be governor. It's going to be one of these Democrats, whichever one the Democrats want to rig it for.
I hate that.
Yeah.
But it's California. That's just the way it is. It's, I wish I was wrong, but I'm not wrong about this.
Meanwhile, how about the fact that they're trying to pass a law there that would prohibit investigative journalism and exposing fraud? How many did RFK Jr. close? 500 hospice facilities, and not one person complained.
I read that. That is
Yeah.
insane.
How much
had
of
no
this is
customers.
there out there, and why aren't
Complete
the
fraud.
people demanding heads?
It's mind-boggling to me. If that was going on in Texas, I think we would probably have lynchings going on in Austin. I really do. I mean, I just think enough people would be so angry that it would be a real problem for the politicians. But in California, I don't know, man. It's hard to explain other than people are just so brainwashed and ignorant that they can't figure it out for some reason.
I say this all the time, but we're just not affected enough by it.
Yeah.
People are too comfortable. It doesn't affect them directly. So what do they
Right.
care?
Right.
Well,
They feel like it just is, it's whatever.
The
They
Space
can't do
Cadet running
anything about
Virginia
it.
came out quickly with all of her big plans and ridiculous taxes, and the people there seem to have some buyer's remorse. But what were they expecting? Glenn Youngkin was a good governor. Too bad he couldn't have a second term.
Is there anything that like the public can do when they vote somebody into office and they feel like
They were
they've
lied to.
completely reneged on all their promises?
I want a mulligan.
You can try to do a recall in California. You can petition for a recall. They have petition system there where that's possible. And they tried to recall Gavin Newsom
Right.
in, what was that, 2022, I guess it was, or 23. And
But then he just
they
got
didn't.
reelected.
Oh yeah, he won 65% of the vote because he had a D next to his name. It doesn't matter.
Head of the
It doesn't
snake.
matter to these people who, Steyer's he's a lunatic. He's crazy. But they don't care because he's got a D next to his name.
Yep.
It
I
could
tried
be
to invoke-
exactly the same guy running on exactly the same issues with an R next to his name. He wouldn't get more than 35% of the vote.
I tried to invoke it here in Montgomery. So it takes in Montgomery, it takes 30% of the registered voters to petition. And so that would be about 60,000 people would have to sign a petition to Montgomery to get read out of office.
Okay.
It's active right now. Last time it was maybe in like the 3,000. So, it takes a lot.
Huh.
I see the Democrats have sent some of their biggest asshats over to criticize our country in Spain and other places.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That's not
I mean,
cool.
That's been a Democratic tradition since Jimmy Carter.
I'm sick of it.
Yeah. I mean, Tim Walz, what the hell does he have to say that Spain wants to hear? I'd love to know.
He could teach them how to run hospice frauds, I guess, and Leering centers.
Yeah, those Leering centers. We need more of those because education is that was a statistic that came up last week. I don't know if we mentioned it or not, but 70% of public high school graduates in America get there because the grades are fixed to make sure they graduate.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
They can't read, they can't function, they have very few basic day-to-day skills that were all part of the package we got when we went to school. What are they teaching?
You guys have been on the globe a little bit longer than Pamela and I. We're just spring chickens in this hen. But do you feel that the left has gotten more liberal and the right has gotten more right over time? And do you think that the media has caused that?
I don't think the right's any more right than it ever was.
I don't think that the term liberal even applies to left
Not as
anymore.
I knew them.
Right.
They're not liberal, they're fascists. Liberal
Right.
means freedom, free
it's
speech.
further left of liberal.
Everybody's
Yeah.
welcome. Old school
I think
liberalism.
actually some people on the right are becoming more liberal in the way we used to use the word.
Yeah, I
Yes.
agree.
Yeah. The Overton window has shifted to the left, way
Yeah.
to the left. Ronald
Way.
Reagan, I used to say the politics of Ronald Reagan were indistinguishable from John F. Kennedy. You couldn't find any difference between their policy positions. That was just in a span of 20 years. Donald Trump is one of the most liberal, big spending presidents we've ever had in our life. Okay. In the history of the country. And we're calling him a right winger. And Republicans just twice a year, they vote for these omnibus bills that add another $500 billion to the debt. So I calling the Republican Party a conservative right-wing party is a joke. There isn't any conservative right-wing party in the United States anymore. The Republicans, they never really have been a conservative party at all. They've had a conservative wing in the party since Reagan, but
there's certainly a huge number of the voters who are truly conservative.
Sure.
But they don't vote for people in the Republican Party that are conservative. Right. They are conservative appearing, and then they just back off and do whatever.
Everything you need to know about the Republican Party is evident in having majorities in the House and Senate and being totally unable to pass the voter ID law, which would solve at least some of the problems when it comes to voter fraud.
Yeah. It seems so common sense yet.
What does California get pissed? 500 hospice centers out there, ripping them off, all of us off, for $3.5 billion. $3.5 billion here, $10 billion in Minnesota. And it just goes on and on and on. And our national debt's creeping higher and higher. But nobody seems to get all that riled up about it anymore.
Every democracy falls at the hands of its own people, unfortunately. And I just hate that. I hate to see the media divide the country. And I just think that they are just pitting Republicans against Democrats, and it prevents bipartisanship and achieving national goals and what our country is founded on. It's disheartening to me. I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
Because they have a completely different agenda than we actually do now.
Right.
No, they have absolute
We're not even
power.
Privy to.
I mean, Tom
the
Steyer, he
actual
wants to
agenda.
bring back single-payer health care. That idea.
Yeah.
Obamacare has done uncountable damage to the healthcare system as it is.
Yeah.
And
so their line about Obamacare is it didn't go far enough because it didn't include single payer, the public option. If only they'd have done socialism right, it would have worked. But they didn't do it right. It's always the refrain.
How's our friend Ken Paxton doing in Texas? What's the latest on the races there?
He's doing great. I talked to a friend over the weekend who's involved in the campaign, and he says their numbers show Paxton up over 10% now over Cornyn, and that margin has gotten wider over the past 2 weeks. And I asked him why isn't Cornyn on television up here, and he said he's just waiting for May. And so Cornyn's going to go big on television apparently the last month of the campaign. But we'll see if that makes any difference. But Cornyn's problem is everybody in Texas knows who he is now, and that's a real problem for him because he hasn't done anything for Texas in what is it? 3 full terms or 4 full terms now. Man, he's been there so long, I forget. I believe this is the end of his 4th term up there. So 24 years. And you couldn't point to a single thing John Cornyn has done that was specifically something that, people in the state of Texas wanted to see done. And he spent his whole time there running around behind Mitch McConnell trying to get his job, and he didn't get his job, and now he's just useless. So I don't know if Paxton will be any better. These people, they get elected and they get into DC, into that milieu up there, and figure out they can make millions and millions of dollars on all these grifts. And as your senator well knows, Coach Tuberville, it's a cesspool, and but I'll just be happy that Cornyn won't be there. That'll be enough for me.
David, tell us about your blog yesterday. New Confederacy Rising. We mentioned Steyer, this clown Becerra, adopting federal nullification language of the Old South, and other California dreaming. What is this plan?
Well, that's what I've been writing about that since last year. These governors, Tim Walz and J.B. Pritzker, most prominently, Democrat governors, have been using exactly the same kind of language that the Confederate state governors used in the lead up to the Civil War in terms of federal nullification, in terms of defying the powers of the federal government and now they're threatening to arrest ICE agents and throw them in prison for doing their jobs.
Yeah.
And things like this. And this is and it was all Democrats in 1860 and 1861. All those governors were Democrats, and it's all Democrats today. It's like this party is just in a time warp. It never changes. It's just bizarre that they cannot evolve out of that mindset. And I really honestly believe President Trump has just driven them completely insane. And so really and truly, I know it sounds like hyperbole when I write the new Confederacy, but that's effectively what is forming here. And Hochul in New York, same thing. What's her name? Whitmer in Michigan, who thank goodness she's term limited out. But her replacement will be no different if it's a Democrat. And they really are setting up a situation where, if they should elect another president and a congressional majorities and do all these crazy things they're talking about doing, we could well have a civil war in this country.
I can't disagree with you at this point.
Court and admit Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico is the 51st and 52nd states so that they can have 4 more senators and things like that.
Stack the court. Just do whatever the hell they want.
Court, eliminate the Electoral College. Well, then the whole country is going to be run by the lunatics in California.
Yeah.
You do that. And I just don't think states like Texas and Alabama and Florida and we're in Florida fairly frequently, and people in Florida, everybody we talk to, first thing they bring up is, oh, we love Texas, but boy, do we hate California. And,
Yeah.
I'm serious.
That goes back a long way, by the
drivers way.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's, I laugh about it, but it's not funny. It's really not funny.
No.
And, I'm really concerned about the direction this is all going. And I don't know how you stop it.
We all know who they're going to blame. Donald Trump, period. He started the Civil War.
But to Tom's point, I do blame a lot of it on the media. I think it's all driven by the media. It's really all driven by two elements of the media, CNN and MSNBC or MS Now, now. And I think these 24-hour cable news operations are going to be the death of our country, because people are just bombarded with this crap all the time.
Yeah.
And it's not just on their channels. It's all over social media, these clips of these panel discussions. But what do you do? We have a First Amendment, and I just, I don't think anybody's going to say, well, we're going to outlaw CNN and MS Now.
Right.
And Fox News. Fox News is as pernicious as the other two.
And for them, it's just a cash cow. So they're they're not there to report the truthful news. They're trying to spin an agenda that's profitable for them, and that's what's upsetting to me. And they're demonizing the other side, where you're now seeing it at your own family level. Sammy Hagar, frontman of Van Halen, he was talking about how he couldn't get a family gathering. People weren't coming because they had internal political disagreements and they didn't want to come to family events. I see it in my own family where it creates some strife.
One thing.
But who are the ones who say they can't be around the other people?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Yeah.
It's not the conservatives,
right?
Not the Republicans.
Hey, let's hear for old Gretchen Whitmer. She's always been a favorite here.
I am Paul Brucher.
Hideous people. Hideous people. We got to take our bottom of the hour break at 4:35. The Idiocracy with David Blackman is our special guest on Monday and Thursday, 3:30 to 5. Brought to you by the team at Montgomery Paint and Body. Donnie and Brandon Turner, we appreciate you. And we're very grateful for the support you give to this. I was at the park yesterday enjoying a little concert in Cloverdale. And a young guy came up and said, hey, I just want to tell you I'm a fan, but I'm especially a fan on Monday and Thursday. And I said, David. And he said, you got it. He is great. So just want to let you know that, David.
He dipped.
He dipped.
During the ad, yep.
I feel so silly now.
He appreciates it, though. He is a local celebrity here in Montgomery.
Yeah.
Well, we do. I hear this all the time, and it's great. 4:36. We've got traffic, 1819 news, and Rich's forecast. Then we're back for our third and final segment with David Blackman, Tom Moore, Pamela Dubuque, and me.
Traffic continues to look good around the area, but really beginning to build now on East-South Boulevard, I-65 and 85. Atlanta Highway 231 to Wetumpka, some of our busier spots. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting light to mostly moderate traffic. Thompson Tractor will have deep discounts on used equipment this Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Skid steers, excavators, dozers, aerial lifts, and more. Thompson Tractor off I-85 past Chantilly Parkway on Highway 80. Buckle up with Jake, Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Adams Motorsports of Montgomery, where your pleasure is their business.
1819 News. An independent candidate has announced his race for the state Senate District 10 seat. Jesse Battles originally qualified as a Republican a few months ago, but was then disqualified by the state party leadership this past February when it comes to running in the Republican primary race. Battle has now decided to run in the same race as an independent. Andrew Jones is the Republican incumbent, who is also being challenged in that primary by Amy Minton. After Battles made his announcement this past Sunday, he said that his campaign was never built in back rooms, but by neighbors, friends, and family who deeply care about the future of their community. Battles will now gather the necessary signatures to secure his ballot access. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Where I was living was not a great place to live anymore. I began to pray for a place to go, praying for all of these things that a 9-year-old would want. I wanted horses, big house with a bunch of people my age. I wanted parents. I wanted a mom and a dad. Before I even prayed it, the Lord had already answered my prayer with the Big Oak Ranch. Who would that 9-year-old be if she never came to the Big Oak Ranch? I would be trying to fight for survival instead of fighting to break a cycle.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
The Mobile County Sheriff's Office is now investigating a triple homicide that occurred in Wilmore this past weekend. The victims have been identified as a 46-year-old woman, 17-year-old girl, and 12-year-old boy who were all found dead at the same home where they lived. No one has been arrested at this time. The residents of Rehoboth are mourning the loss of their very first mayor, Joe Collins. Collins served as the town's mayor for 20 years after first helping incorporate that town back in 1996. Collins was also the mayor in 2017. When tornadoes caused severe damage there, he coordinated the recovery efforts. Flags are now flying at half-staff in honor of Collins and the news of his passing. I'm Andrea Tyson.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
AdamsMotorsports.com on the web, or Adams Motorsports on the Boulevard in Montgomery. That's at Adams Motorsports in Montgomery, where your pleasure is our business. Come by and learn more about the new Suzuki GSX 8R motorcycle and see for yourself the bar has officially been reset.
Montgomery Men's Health salutes the man everyone depends on. You, the grill master. Your family don't have to go out to eat. You carry the load. You solve the problems. Mr. Fix-It. But when you're off, we all feel it. And what happens when the gas runs out? When the strength drops? When the transmission stalls? And I ain't just talking about your truck. Male performance is complicated. Treating low T and ED requires technical precision, and that's where Montgomery Men's Health shines. We've been conquering this since 2014, long before every strip mall had a low T sign. We started this clinic to level you up, to help separate fact from internet fiction, hype from the successful realities we see every day. What works 92% of the time versus what might work online. And we keep getting better. Better service, better care, better value. And for $99, you'll receive a lab panel in minutes and a consultation with our medical provider. Don't wait. Call 334-440-3663 or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 special. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
Alabama's law enforcement leaders put their lives on the line every single day. They need an attorney general who has their back. Catherine Robertson has spent a decade on the front lines of Alabama's toughest battles. She doesn't bend, she doesn't back down, and she doesn't play politics. As attorney general, she'll make sure violent offenders are locked up and stay locked up. That's why sheriffs and police chiefs from every corner of this state are proudly standing behind Catherine Robertson for Attorney General.
This is Catherine Robertson. I am honored to earn the trust of law enforcement. I've spent my career fighting for Alabama families, and I'm just getting started. I'll stand with President Trump to deport violent illegals and ensure our law enforcement has the support they need. Because in Alabama, if you commit a crime, you pay for it. No excuses. Visit CatherineForAG.com to join the fight.
Paid for by Robertson for Attorney General, P.O. Box 50063, Birmingham, Alabama 35253.
Congressman Barry Moore has always delivered for Alabama. As a member of the House Freedom Caucus, Barry Moore earned a score of 100 from Heritage Action for protecting our values. He's helped thousands of Alabama families, fought for our veterans as a veteran himself, and secured millions for infrastructure, first responders, and public safety. Barry Moore helped pass Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, delivering tax cuts for hardworking Alabama families, and stood strong to secure our borders. Now, Barry is taking that fight to the United States Senate. Barry Moore will defend our freedoms, defend the Second Amendment, protect our children, stand up for parents, and keep boys out of girls' sports while continuing to cut taxes and lower prices. Endorsed by President Trump, Barry Moore is a proven conservative Alabama can trust.
I'm Congressman Barry Moore. I rolled up my sleeves in Congress, and I'll keep fighting for Alabama in the U.S. Senate. I'm Barry Moore, a conservative fighter, and I approve this message.
Approved and paid for by Barry Moore for U.S. Senate.
Mark your calendar. Every first Thursday of the month, Epicure and Jack's Tavern host an all-you-can-eat raw oyster shucking party. Fresh oysters, skilled shuckers, a great crowd. Tickets are required and available at epicureandjackstavern.com/event calendar. Epicure and Jack's Tavern. One night, all the oysters you can handle.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Earnest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Earnest, 334-279-7431. Earnest Financial, LLC.
Well, hi, everybody. We are looking at a nice temperature rebound this week after that setback. Tonight's still jacket weather, though. Mostly clear skies. Overnight low temperature by dawn tomorrow morning down to 49. But a nice day tomorrow with plenty of sunshine. High temperature Tuesday up to about 82. I think we're in the mid-80s on Wednesday and Thursday with more sun. Small chance of showers pops up Friday, but a better chance of some stormy weather with showers and thunderstorms over the upcoming weekend. We'll keep an eye on that system for you. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Del Rey to Publix. All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
With more bartending experience. She has never been accused of being a policy maven. You put her in a presidential primary with Elizabeth Warren, or Rahm Emanuel, they will devour her like a light snack. I probably shouldn't say this, but she can get me back. Somebody told me a joke today. They said Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez announced today categorically that she is not a moron. And she went on to say she hasn't even been to Utah, much less embraced their religion.
Always good for a chuckle. Senator Kennedy from Louisiana, as we rejoin David Blackman in our Monday tour of the never-ending American Idiocracy. Any thoughts, David, on the this great mystery that's developed on dead and missing scientists? There's like 10 of them.
I got the echo again.
It's gone.
So I don't have any unique knowledge about it, just what I keep seeing on television and on podcasts. You know, it's kind of a big mystery.
It's a worry to me because some of them have disappeared from Los Alamos.
Yes.
My sister is in charge of that
propulsion laboratory as well in California.
My sister is in charge of that laboratory.
Yeah, yeah.
And all the West Coast nuclear facilities. So,
right. So it's scary.
Have you talked to her at all about it?
No, we're really not on speaking terms, and I would be afraid to ask her anything that high up. But I would be worried about her. Yeah,
I find it interesting. A lot of these folks were out on a run or on a trail and then just disappeared, like no trace, no. And so I was talking to Pamela earlier that I think that someone was probably tracking their pattern of life. Hey, when do they go on runs? Where do they go hiking? And they were probably either abducted to work for a foreign government or taken out. But I think the first is more likely because a lot of these people are retired or just interesting. I think it's too many to be a coincidence. I know the one gal worked for the general.
Well, this started as like one of those conspiracy type things. There were one or two, and then the total started growing.
Yeah, and now Trump says he's going to look into it. So I mean, they're taking it seriously as much as they can.
Yeah,
so.
they just Kash Patel was just on Fox Business talking about it. FBI is investigating the situation for what that's worth. Have you guys ever heard of a guy named David Paulides in the Missing 911 series of videos?
No. Mm-mm.
So this guy is he's a professional investigator, long time. He's probably my age. But he became aware of mysterious disappearances in the national parks about 10, 12 years ago. He started getting calls and started investigating some of these strange disappearances that happen in our national parks all over the country, not just in the West, but all over the place. But he started with some investigations out in Wyoming and California. And it's just this, I mean, he's by now investigated hundreds of instances of people out on trails in our national parks in groups who are there 1 second, gone the next, no explanation what happened. Some of them turn up days later, miles and miles away. One was a 5-year-old child in, I think in Yosemite. I may be wrong about that. But 5-year-old child in the mountains with her parents and another couple was right there, within feet of her parents, talking to them, and a few seconds later was gone. And search for, they did search parties days after days, couldn't find her. She turned up like 9 miles away, and this was during the wintertime, 9 or 10 miles away, over a whole mountain range, alive and well, and told a story of these strange looking creatures that had picked her up and taken her, and and there's all these different cases. Anyway, that's what this is kind of reminding me of is the Missing 911 series, or Missing 411.
Interesting.
Yeah, 411, Missing 411. People should Google it. The videos are very interesting to me.
We have somebody who went missing from the Trump administration today. The Labor Secretary, Lori Chavez DeRaymer, has stepped down after a whistleblower accused her of drinking on the job and using staff to fabricate official travel for personal trips at taxpayer expense, and having an affair with a security guard.
No bueno.
Yeah, she was a bad appointment from day one. She's a lifelong Democrat. I don't know why in the hell he picked her for that job to begin with. The stories are legion about her open bar in her office there at the Labor Department. And yeah, so anyway, that's the least surprising story of the day.
At 4:51,
Good
so
riddance.
let's kind of recap everything that we've covered today. In 60 Minutes, again, were you surprised that they would reveal something that looks potentially damaging to Obama, that he knew that Iran had enough enriched uranium to make 10 to 12 bombs? And did
No, I
nothing?
think this is another story that just shows the difference in direction now at CBS, thanks to Bari Weiss, and bringing her in to actually do real news stories, instead of hit pieces on people you don't like politically. She's actually got 60 Minutes even doing real news all of a sudden, and the CBS Evening News covering real news stories that
And the
people
word out
give
of
a
there,
damn about.
word out of there is that they hate it. They hate being made to do real news.
Oh, I'm sure they do. Yeah, I expect her to get rid of Scott Pelley pretty soon. There's rumors that there's going to be a pretty significant purge of the 60 Minute staff, and I think that may be why we've seen stories like this popping up here in the last month, because they know the axe is coming, and they're wanting to show that they can actually do a real news story instead of just going after Pete Hegseth again or something.
The only thing they can indict Pete Hegseth for is his hair.
Hegseth has done a spectacular job.
He's been amazing.
I mean, spectacular. That's what's so ironic about it. He may be the highest performing member of the Trump cabinet, and it's a pretty high performing cabinet in general.
For every loser, like a Pam Bondi or this labor secretary chick, he's had some really top-notch people. Marco.
Yeah.
Love Marco Rubio. JD, I think, has been great.
Chris Wright, Doug Burgum,
Scott
you can
Bessent.
go down the list. Bessent. Oh my God.
Do you guys see a ticket with Vance and Rubio, or do you see them competing against each other for 28?
Yeah, I don't think, I certainly don't think Vance would run for vice president again with the different president. And I doubt Rubio, Rubio is in the most substantive job in the federal government right now and just killing it.
Yeah.
And
I
you
think
would be
a Vance,
asking him
I think a Vance Rubio ticket would look good.
Yeah, it
I
looked
just
great.
wondered if you guys thought that they are both going to, go for the presidency and compete each other.
I was researching this question a couple of weeks ago. Can a person serve as vice president and secretary of state simultaneously? And I don't believe there's a prohibition on that.
I agree. And you know where I learned that, oddly enough, from the TV series Veep. Which, by the way, is hilarious. It's profane. It's vulgar. But to me, it's almost a perfect parody of what a Hillary presidency would have been like. Because Julia Louis-Dreyfus comports herself as the most unlikable human being on the planet, but knows how to make enough political movers, stab enough backs to keep herself in power.
But whether it's Vance or Rubio, I just don't see any Dem, competing against them. I just don't see where that happens. They say AOC's polling well. Harris is thinking about running again. That's no match for either Vance or Rubio. In my
I agree totally. And if you could set it up, what I'm saying is, the vice presidency is a completely meaningless job. There's no real responsibilities. And I don't think Rubio would settle for that. I think if you could say, okay, you be vice president, but we're also make you secretary of state, because he's been so spectacularly good in the job, then that not only I think would have an appeal to him, but also to voters, to know you're not going to lose him out of secretary of state office.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. If Republicans have the balls to play it, Rubio is a minority.
Yeah.
So anybody that doesn't like Marco, we could just call them an ignorant racist.
They're both success stories. I mean, kind of came from nothing. You know, JD
Yeah.
served in the Marines. It's funny. I visited DC in 2013, and I was in the Foreign Relations Committee. And the gal who runs that office, you know, Rubio was in that committee at the time, and she's like, "Watch this name. He will be president someday." And that always sticks with me because that was 13 years ago, and I've got pictures when I was in that room. She's like, "He will be president someday."
With Marco, it's like somebody took the restraints off, and he really became an unabashed speak from the heart and the hip, and he's very good when he's, you know, under a pressure situation.
Yeah, he does not take any crap from journalists either.
We have a call at 272-19 456. Who's this?
This is Bill M.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, I want to get in with the geniuses. I want you to mark this down. The next president of the United States, I've been doing my homework, and guess who it's going to be?
Greg Boudel.
Ron DeSantos will be the next president of the United States.
Well,
you mark my word. You remember this conversation. And you know what? If I lose, I will buy you dinner.
Ooh. Anything on the Taco Bell value meal that we choose.
Well, you're asking a lot right there. But
no, look, I don't
like
think you can disconsider. Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, I just don't think. I think Vance and Rubio have displayed to America their level of competence under pressure, like David just talked about, and rose to the occasion, and that develops experience, and it shows how they'll act under certain circumstances. I'll bet you that dinner, though, Bill.
Okay, okay. I know where you guys live. And you know what?
I think
I'm telling you, there's something within me because 2.5 years is a long time from now when it comes to the presidency.
Here's something else I'd like David's opinion on before we wrap up. Anybody but Donald Trump, when Donald Trump is out of the equation, people are going to see a different kind of Republican who is intelligent, who's good, and doesn't annoy them the way Trump does. I think that's going to bring back some folks. I really do.
Yeah, but the media is going to try to convince everybody that whoever it is the same as Trump. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's a Republican. I mean, they're going to demonize whoever it is, right?
Well,
So
when Trump runs for office, he pushes everybody down. Ron DeSantos did not really fire back and get into a squabble like, what, we're just going to cut relationships off. He is just the man for the job. I mean, Rubio was the man for the job. Vance, I think he's deep state, but you know what? Let's not argue about that because I'll lose. But I think that Ron DeSantos, I'm just telling you guys, write this down. I want my dinner.
I've got a note. I've made a note.
I may just buy you a dinner for being a good caller one of these days.
All right. God bless
DeSantis has definitely been the best governor in the country for the last 6 years.
Got time for a little baseball talk?
Oh.
Where did David go? Oh.
I'm here.
Yeah, do you know what the record is for the Mets after Mom Donnie went to the ball field and met their mascot? Yeah, they're 0-10.
Yeah, actually, they've lost 11 in a row now.
11.
Oh, it's 11.
The kiss of death. How about that Mom Donnie grocery store, David? Only $30 million to open it in 2029. And he's running around like he's...
And that means it's going to cost 50 before it's all over. 50 or 60. Yeah.
And there's really only a handful of basic essentials people will be able to get a real good price on. Everything else is going to be the same at any other grocery store. So what's the freaking point?
I'll bet you a dinner he's not reelected.
I'm dining.
Well, I don't know, man. They reelected Bill de Blasio. New York voters are as crazy as Californians.
Yeah.
They are. Dodgers off to an incredible start.
Yeah, but we lost 2 in a row to the friggin' Rockies.
I know,
Holy
but that was in Colorado.
I'm like you. I'm getting angry, Greg.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we lost 3 in a row to Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
We were 1 game
They're a
over
good
500.
team.
We come back and we win 5 out of 6 the next week. That's baseball, you know?
Yeah.
And I think the warmer weather is helping. Judge and guys like that seem to do better when the weather is more reasonable.
I'm a Cubs fan, so I'm just glad we're playing.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, to subscribe to David's blog, you really need to get this in your inbox every day. Visit davidblackman.substack.com If you want straight up energy news, the best, the most insightful energy news, Blackman at Substack.com. And David, will you be able to rejoin us on Thursday?
I will be here.
We're so glad, man. Thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate you, buddy.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good week.
Best.
You too.
All right. We've got lots to do here in the next hour. Brett McDonald's going to talk about the market today, which basically flatlined. Not sure what to do. Maybe that's a good thing instead of these giant ups and downs that we've seen. If they don't sign this thing, the whole country's going to get blown up. That's what Donald Trump said about Iran. I think he means it. You know, I don't think we're ever going to nuke anybody, but you know what? They're the people that embrace that mentality over there. How else? There's just no reasoning with them. You can't negotiate with maniacs.
No, you cannot.
Folks, I think you would absolutely love to work with, especially if you're, let's say right now you're in the consideration, you're looking ahead to the year, anticipating a move, buying a home, downsizing, whatever your housing dream happens to be. Don't wait until you're ready to apply for the mortgage before you call Alabama Home Mortgage. Have conversations with Madeline and this incredible team of people who are out to give you the complete experience, who can answer your questions and help provide you with a timeline of action, because interest rates are likely to be coming down. They may suggest you wait. They may say no, strike while the iron's hot. You see the house you want, get it. You can always refi later. Point being, this is a process, and you need that wonderful familial group that will be there to answer your questions and help you navigate it without stress. Real estate decisions are not one size fits all. Every circumstance is different. If you're looking for money, it could be hiding in plain sight. It's not in your savings account, not in the market. It's right under your roof. Homeowners are sitting on record levels of home equity, which can be used to add dazzling features to your house. The money is there. They'll be happy to find it for you. They can help you with VA mortgages. It's one of the best deals ever. But deal with them. Don't call these 800 numbers and this incredible number of companies that they buy the naming rights to ballparks. I don't know about that. You want a group of people that are local and here and have plenty of experience, and they're absolutely sensational human beings. Madeline Cannon and the team at Alabama Home Mortgage. Reach out at 567-4223, 567-4223. Alabama Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Their NMLS number is 1586368. We do hope that you'll do business with them. And there's no obligation with that first phone call. Off to the traffic junction, Wall Street Business. SRN News, all ahead.
Well, we are seeing a lot of cars out on the road. Traffic definitely building. Interstates, boulevards around Montgomery, 231 to Wetumpka really beginning to load up. And we have the fire department responding 65 northbound at mile marker 176. That'll be a little ways out from Cobbs Ford Road if you're headed northbound. Got a grass fire going on the interstate there. Please watch out for it, the smoke, and the fire department. We will keep you updated. Lowest tax rates in Alabama are at McKinnon Nissan. Plus, they've got up to 0% financing on 2026 Muranos. It's worth the drive, and they need your trade-in. See David at McKinnon Nissan for all the details. Exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up, Whittle J. Montgomery, Skywatch Traffic.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew. Oil prices climbed following the latest rise of U.S.-Iran tensions, but the moves were more modest than they were earlier in the war. Stocks, meanwhile, gave back a bit of their record-breaking rally today at the closing bell. The Dow was off by just about 5 points. Mortgage rates lingering right below 7% after reaching a 4-week low last Friday.
The weekly national average for 30-year mortgage rates has hit 6.3%, according to Bankrate, and the national average for 15-year mortgage rates has hit 5.73%. It follows a February drop below 6% for 30-year mortgages, which happened for the first time in more than 3 years. But starting in March, rates started to pick up. Homeowners are hoping to see lower rates stick, as predicted by Fannie Mae. The Federal Housing Finance Agency said rates are expected to hit 5.7% by the fourth quarter.
And that report from correspondent Bernie Bennett for the Wall Street Business Report. I'm Bob Agnew.
Whether it's AC or heating or plumbing that you're needing, whatever you require, call Lou Choir. Since 1983, we've treated you like family. Day or night, we do things right, so you can live more comfortably. Whether it's AC or heating or plumbing that you're needing, whatever you require, call Lou Choir right now.
We get a lot of questions about what all we handle at Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. I'm Hannah Grantham.
And I'm Eddie Bader, and we will handle all of your real estate needs.
We handle all your buying and selling needs, from your first home, next home, land, investment property, and even commercial properties.
We do it all and have the experience that shows you what makes us different.
So when you think real estate, think Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. Look us up on Facebook or give us a call at 334-368-6358. And let us show you who you have on your sign matters.
It's April 20th, the greatest day ever. On the 20th of April, 1841, Edgar Allan Poe publishes what is considered to be the first detective story. Edgar Allan Poe created the genre, and David Caruso killed it.
I'm guilty of turning it into a cliche.
Have a great April 20th, the greatest day ever.
From the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With us for news, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump is getting mixed messages on the path ahead for the U.S. war with Iran. In a series of media interviews and social media posts Monday, Trump insisted he's in no rush to end the war, while also expressing confidence that peace negotiations with Tehran will soon resume in Pakistan. A 2-week ceasefire between the two countries is set to expire Wednesday. The Supreme Court will hear from Catholic preschools that say it's unconstitutional to exclude them from a state-funded program because they won't admit kids from LGBT families. It's the latest religious rights case for the court. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 4 points, the Nasdaq dropped 84, the S&P 500 dropped 18. More details at srnnews.com.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you, with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou, because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds too. Get a quote right now at 800-555-2085, 800-555-2085, or biglou.com.
Welcome to the show.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Yeah, let's go.
All right, guys, let's make it happen. Okay, let's roll.
Yes, let's go. All right, let's go.
Let's go, people. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
It's time to get this party started because we have a big show.
We're gonna have a good show.
Welcome to the show.
It's showtime.
So let's get going.
I got to put on my bikini and my flip-flops because this is the hottest show in the universe.
Let's go. Come on, buddy. Get groovy. Get funky. Let's go.
It is 10 minutes after 5 o'clock on News Talk 93.1 FM. We, today, being a baseball fan, had the network on when I got home for lunch after the morning show, and they were already playing in Boston.
Wow.
The Patriots Day game, that's the game they hold on the same day as the Boston Marathon. And you'll recall the Boston Marathon bombing that killed and maimed people. I forget the year, was it 2009? Obama's first term. And I'll never forget, it was an absolute terror attack. It was obvious from the start. And his first comment was, whoa, let's not be so quick to, there's a couple of Muslims. And the big drama was catching the second guy in that boat.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. But all of that got swept under the rug and tidied away because he was the perfect. It blows my mind how many people still have a positive impression of that man. And yet, count me among anybody. If there's one person to blame for the division in this country, it's him. He was not the great uniter. He was the great divider. And the fact that he allowed Iran to have enough enriched uranium for 16 nuclear warheads. And what was his response? Let's send them more money. And Joe Biden, too, sent him money. And they used it to buy weapons to conduct this war. Just unbelievable. No accountability whatsoever. And they're still sending Joe Biden out on speaking engagements. Why?
We call it speaking. I would say mumbling.
Just so embarrassing. But that's what they got.
I think Obama was likable. I think he's a good speaker. And there was a rally behind that. But like you said, failed policies, Obamacare.
The real
policy.
him.
You know, the Dems are really against this war in Iran. But, under Obama, he launched more drone strikes than any other president. He was pretty aggressive with swacking people.
He was Obama.
Little gangster from Chicago.
Yeah. Really? Or was he from somewhere else that we're not really sure about? I still don't believe his birth certificate. I don't believe any of it. Why would you publish a book and sanction a book that has first Kenyan-born senator on the back of it? That was a typo? I don't think so. It's full of crap is what he is. But Brad McDonald's going to join us in a minute to talk about you and your money.
Montgomery Men's Health salutes the man everyone depends on. You, the grill master. Your family don't have to go out to eat. You carry the load. You solve the problems. Mr. Fix It. But when you're off, we all feel it. And what happens when the gas runs out? When the strength drops? When the transmission stalls? And I ain't just talking about your truck. Male performance is complicated. Treating low T and ED requires technical precision, and that's where Montgomery Men's Health shines. We've been conquering this since 2014, long before every strip mall had a low T sign. We started this clinic to level you up, to help separate fact from internet fiction, hype from the successful realities we see every day. What works 92% of the time versus what might work online. And we keep getting better. Better service, better care, better value. And for $99, you'll receive a lab panel in minutes and a consultation with our medical provider. Don't wait. Call 334-440-3663 or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
If you've ever wanted to be in business for yourself, but not by yourself, and didn't know where to start, Janney King Gulf Coast has already built the foundation for you. With guaranteed initial customers, hands-on training, and ongoing local support, you'll never feel like you're doing it alone, because you won't be. For over 35 years, we've helped people turn their dreams into real successful businesses. Take the next step. Discover a business built for you at JanneyKingCleans.com.
April 30th from 10 to 2 at the Shops at East Chase. From senior health to total wellness, it's all here and admission is free. Learn more in the Check It Out section at WAKA.com.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We are looking at a nice temperature rebound this week after that setback. Tonight, still jacket weather, though. Mostly clear skies. Overnight low temperature by dawn tomorrow morning down to 49. But a nice day tomorrow with plenty of sunshine. High temperature Tuesday up to about 82. I think we're in the mid-80s on Wednesday and Thursday with more sun. Small chance of showers pops up Friday, but a better chance of some stormy weather with showers and thunderstorms over the upcoming weekend. We'll keep an eye on that system for you. For From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Feeling the pressure of high credit card rates? ASC Credit Union has you covered with a low 1.99% APR on balance transfers. Move your balances in March or April and lock in that 1.99% rate through your October statement. Visit ASC Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
Okay, count me in as who cares.
A veteran Metropolitan Police Department officer and head of the D.C. Police Union has been arrested. He was celebrated as the first gay union official, union boss, for soliciting underage pictures. 15-year-old boy. How's that celebration going to go moving forward? I'm just wondering. This happens all the time, by the way.
Our DEI poster child.
Yeah. That's what you get. That's what you get. 516. Joining us now, Mr. Right on the Money. Grant McDonald from Invista Advisors. Good afternoon, sir. Happy Monday.
Hey, yeah, you too, Greg. Happy Monday. Right back at you. Man, crazy weekend, you know. we go into the weekend and all kinds of craziness starts up with this Iranian situation. It looked like as of yesterday, this whole thing may be coming off the tracks. But I don't know. We've got Vice President Vance, who's going to be en route, if he's not already, to Pakistan to hopefully nail down the deal. But, you know, the problem here, Greg, is kind of like what we've been talking about the last few weeks, is the IRGC, which is the military, and its commander has their own opinions about things. And the current leadership, sort of the, I guess, official leadership, is somewhat powerless. So we're having to negotiate with two different entities within the country.
Yeah,
is what it boils down to. And I don't know, man. I hope it all works out. I suspect they're probably going to have an agreement. It may be announced tonight. It could be tomorrow, or certainly within the next 24 to 36 hours. I just don't know that the Iranian military is going to support it, whatever it is. And that's the real risk here. I think that's why you look at the market action today, which, by the way, there was no real data that came out today, so there wasn't a whole lot to sort of for the market to grab hold of one way or the other than the steady news feed that's coming out of Washington or coming out of Iran or wherever. And so it's not surprising to me that we closed the day basically flat. You know, I mean, we were just flat. And I think it's all dependent upon how this meeting goes tonight and tomorrow in Pakistan. And so we'll see what comes out of that. But, you know, the oil markets have to believe that this deal is going to stick. And I'm not so sure that they really believe it. Maybe it will for a little while. But if the military breaks ways with the leadership, it could really be a problem. And I hope and pray that's not the case.
Be nice to see a little more support from some of the foreign countries whose oil is being tied up, specifically countries in Europe who will be running out of jet fuel soon. Tough to, maintain a thriving tourist industry when you can't fly out of your own country. Too many people on the sidelines. We need their support. They should be on this because it's in everybody's best interest. It's very disheartening to see some of them just sit and wait for things to happen.
Well, there's a lot of political pressure on them, right? I mean, here we sit now in April. You're coming up on the 1st of May. And so at that point, you're talking about basically 6 months before the midterms.
Yeah.
And so you've got a lot of liberals in the United States, politicians and people who are not elected officials, putting incredible pressure on the Europeans, to not play ball with Trump and basically make life miserable for him. Because think about it, you drag this quagmire on, there would be some pain in Europe, but in their eyes, it might potentially be worth it for the United States Congress to go to the Democrats. And that's where we are from a political standpoint. It's sad. It's really sad. But that's the state of affairs in Washington these days. And I think that's partly what's going on here. I really do. And but in the meantime, I think we just have to keep fighting the good fight and see what happens. Maybe we get this agreement, maybe it sticks and it holds. But I'll tell you one thing: the thing that's going to tell the tale, all you're going to have to do in the next 48 hours is look at the 10-year Treasury bond yield, look at the price of gold, and look at the price of crude oil. And those three things will tell you exactly what kind of deal we have. I can assure you of that. If we have a solid deal, a really, really solid deal, I think gold starts going up pretty dramatically. And crude does have a significant decline. But if we don't, even with a positive announcement, I think those will be your indicators. I really do. And of course, we'll be reporting on all this all throughout the week and letting you know how we're seeing things. But man, like I said, I can't reiterate enough. I just hope that we can get this thing behind us, because the further we get drugged down into it, the worse it gets for everyone. But outside of that, Greg, we're hardcore into earnings season, and as I mentioned, we're going to have Tesla. That's probably the biggest report this week. We got Intel, United Healthcare, a whole bunch of big companies, many that are in the Dow Jones, many who are part of that sort of quote Magnificent Seven names. Those will be market moving. It was announced in Apple after hours that Apple, Tim Cook, will be stepping down as CEO, and they have announced who the new CEO will be. And I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but it's a promotion from within the company, and Cook will remain chairman of the board. But that'll be big, because I think when Apple does report their earnings, and that may be next week, they'll probably spend some time talking about that. And I think the new CEO will have an opportunity to maybe share a little bit of what his vision is for the company, especially as it relates to AI. So that's going to be a very big earnings announcement, a big earnings call, I would say, for sure.
Seems like I saw a couple of other companies affected by changes at the top over the last couple of days, but I can't recall them. But I did hear about Tim Cook.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting week, and we don't get a lot of data this week. About the most meaningful piece of data, I guess, would be retail sales in the morning. We get that, which is obviously tied to consumer spending. But outside of that, there's not a really big one. Next week gets interesting, because that's the Federal Reserve meeting. That's the FOMC meeting, and that'll start on the 28th, and then we'll have the announcement on monetary policy on the 29th. That would most likely be Fed Chair Jay Powell's last FOMC meeting. Of course, we've got to get Kevin Warsh approved. The confirmation hearings begin, this week, and he's already released sort of his letter to the committees. And essentially, the central theme of his messaging is that he wants the Fed to truly be independent. But what does that really mean? And Warsh is a guy that has always felt like the Fed, in recent times anyway, has meddled far too much into social and political issues.
Yeah.
Where it should not have been. That should not have been the case.
Interfered in elections too, like when they cut the rate for no obvious reason in September of 24 during the presidential run, a direct benefit to Kamala Harris at that particular time.
Well, it did raise some eyebrows. There's no question about it. But I would say too, Trump, he's been applying some pretty substantial political pressure on Jay Powell to get the rates down. And I will be interested to see how Warsh deals with that, because, in this situation, with this oil situation, which I would just tell you, me personally, I don't really think that oil prices are going to come screaming down as much as people think they are. I think they will come down, but I think there's going to be some elevated level of risk, at least for the next 6 months or so,
Well, right now they're
maybe
as high as
more.
they were in 2023. Where was all the complaining then? I'd like to know.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing how that works?
Yep. You're right. And so I don't know. We'll see. But I think the CPI readings in future months are going to be a little hotter, than people are going to want. But at the same time, though, and that's a short-term issue. But I think long-term, AI is a deflationary headwind. I really believe that. And so we'll see how all that goes. Plus, as I've said a bunch of times, I mean, the tariffs, we're going to do the 1 year lap, year-over-year comps, without new tariffs. So be interested to see how that shakes out. We'll be, when we get that report in May for the month of April, that's going to be a pretty big deal. A lot of economists will be looking at that.
Brad, as always, we thank you for your time and analysis, and we'll talk tomorrow.
You got it, buddy. Y'all have a great night, and look forward to sharing with you the news the rest of this week.
Okay. We are too.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor, and separate entity from LPL Financial.
Skipper's got
Traffic really beginning to build as more and more folks are getting off work, and we have a grass fire reported. I-65 northbound before Cobb's Ford, right around mile marker 176. Montgomery area, mostly moderate traffic and building. Interstates, boulevards, all of our feeder roads out loading up. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting light to moderate traffic flow. Registration going on now for Trentham State Community College summer classes, which begin May 20th. That date is fast approaching. Change your life. Go to trenthamstate.edu and get all the information. Buckle up. Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
Alabama weather will never fail to surprise you. Our lawns hardly get a chance to have any downtime. This year, save the hard work and aggravation and call Alabama Lawns, the River Region's leader in weed control and fertilization services. What makes Alabama Lawns the River Region's best? It's the people. They have the experience, education, and commitment to customer satisfaction. Ask your neighbors. Alabama Lawns has been the Montgomery Advertiser's Reader's Choice Award winner 14 years in a row. The Alabama Lawn staff is made up of long-term employees and agronomy graduates, and the staff at Alabama Lawns attend annual continuing education classes. It pays to have someone that knows southern grass types and how to keep them green and flourishing. Call Alabama Lawns today at 272-7171 and let them show you real value in lawn maintenance service. Alabama Lawns, the company with black trucks and green lawns.
This is Jennifer Pestruccelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. If you're in outside sales and feel your income is capped, it might be time for a change. At Blue Water, top performers build strong books of business and create real income by helping local companies grow through radio and digital marketing, including social, streaming, and targeted campaigns. You'll prospect new business, manage your own accounts, and control your earning potential in a performance-driven environment. We're looking for motivated, experienced sales professionals who are ready to be rewarded for what they produce. If that sounds like you, send me your resume today at bluewaterbroadcasting.com.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi, I'm a spokesperson for the Democratic Party, and I'm here to tell you why you need to vote blue this November. Democrats are the party of love and tolerance. We promote inclusion and acceptance, peace, and goodwill. Republicans don't care about any of these things. They just want to talk about record unemployment, the economy, and keeping communities safe. Fascists. Democrats have positive, practical priorities, like abolishing the Electoral College, eliminating due process, and banning hate speech. These are the values of the American people. Well, at least Americans that live in San Francisco and New York. Republicans often use fear-mongering rhetoric like Constitution or liberty. Democrats condemn such language as divisive and instead focus on more unifying topics like repealing the Second Amendment or kneeling for the national anthem. Democrats are the party of equality, so much so that we insist upon unconditionally believing women and disbelieving men because, well, feminism. If you ask us to explain this logically, we will scream in your face and call you a misogynist. Republicans want to take away a woman's sacred right to choose to have her child decapitated inside the womb and torn apart limb by limb with forceps. Democrats celebrate the right to violently murder your child because we're compassionate. Democrats believe that women are powerful and independent. They are also helpless victims of the patriarchy who require government intervention to succeed. Any woman who disagrees with us on this is a self-hating, stupid bimbo. And you know, it's time someone was finally brave enough to say this. Republicans are racist. Democrats have the same positive message for minorities that we have for women. You're a victim, and you're useful to us. If you disagree, we'll insult your intelligence, but it's for your own good. Republicans want to stop certain people from coming into this country. They cite the infiltration of gang violence or opioids or sex trafficking as reasons to stop illegal immigration. But Democrats accept these as the natural consequences of opening up the borders, which, of course, is the more loving thing to do. Democrats recognize that the key to a better tomorrow is to look forward, not backward. That's why we reject capitalism and all of its greed and instead opt for socialism, which has worked so well every time it's been tried. Democrats are the party of the common people, the poor and the marginalized, the weak and defenseless. While Republicans promise freedom, we promise free stuff. That's how we win over young people. Our goal is to make the government work for you so you don't have to work at all. Republicans are always pushing religion in our faces. We reject their bigotry. Religious people are idiots. Democrats would much rather you sacrifice yourself on the altar of progressivism. The truth is, as the party of empathy, we're just better than everyone else. That's why we spend so much time telling people who don't align with our agenda that they're not just wrong, but that they're bad people. We still haven't figured out that this condescension is what lost us the 2016 election. Nevertheless, we're confident that through censorship, emotional manipulation, and continued bullying that we'll eventually get our way.
Yeah.
Why? Because we care about you. So much so that we're willing to wear you down until you fear getting silenced, doxxed, or fired because you don't agree with our agenda. That's love. I'm the spokesperson for the Democratic Party. Vote for us in November.
No. Okay. Big grass fire on I-65 between Montgomery and Prattville. And it's from calls you've had, Tom, that's
It's backed up pretty bad.
Parking lot kind of condition. Examining some of the local headlines. Let's see. Bankrupt.
You know, one thing that I was going to mention is it's been tough. Every weekend, there's another shooting, another murder, and we should not become accustomed to that. And yet it's the norm. I cannot think of a weekend that have passed where there hasn't been a shooting, and it happened again this weekend, and it's just frustrating, and you shouldn't become numb to that.
Our only hope is Tommy Tuberville getting elected governor. He's going to be living in Montgomery, and I believe the governor has powers to do things like forensic audits, see where all this money is going.
Yeah. You know, there was a woman that was a prior mayor in Alabama, and she was arrested for election fraud this last week.
Yeah.
I guarantee you at some point Stephen Reed will be arrested for criminal.
I've heard that from others too.
I would not be surprised in the least if there's an investigation, could be 2 years, 3 years down the road, that he embezzled funds, he pushed funds. It will come out.
I've heard from a reliable source that they already have plenty to look at. I don't know about the timing on it. And, you know, the thing is, they're worried. Of course, it's Alabama. The perception of arresting your first mayor of color on any kind of a charge, it's just racism in action.
It's funny. I got a haircut this morning, and my normal gal wasn't there, and a gal named Linda, shout out, cuts by us. She did a phenomenal job this morning, and she's an awesome African-American woman. And she didn't know who I was, that I was on the radio, that I oppose Stephen Reed, that I talk about local stuff. And out of nowhere, she just starts talking about how the mayor has ruined this town and how she feels unsafe. And she's from Selma. And I'm like, and it was just funny. I just kind of sat in the chair and just listened to her and agreed with her. And so, I think that, the black vote is very loyal to Stephen Reed, but at some point they start to see the truth and they're like, hey, I'm not going to continue to vote for this guy. And so the cracks are showing.
I wish that were just not such an automatic thing. Like,
right.
What's he done for you? Has he made your property more valuable? Has he made your roads better to drive on? Is your neighborhood still regularly infested with people that make noise, gather in large groups, fire guns? I mean, how much of that stuff do you take before you say, you know what, I would like more police.
Yeah.
I would feel safe. Because if you're not running a criminal life, why would you worry about how many police there are? That's BS.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm going to Chicago this weekend to visit a good friend. And when I spoke at the last council meeting in October, I brought up 3 key points. And I didn't know the mayor was going to be there, first of all. I was like, why would he go to the council meetings? But he's there. He sits off to the side in this little booth next to his lawyer. And
I'd keep him handy.
Yeah. Well, he fired her. And so now they're looking for a new one. But anyways, there were 3 key points that I had. Hey, you've reduced the police force. You've defunded it. We're 200 police officers short. That on average, 1,600 people a year leaving Montgomery. And so that's when he took office, it was 206. It's now 190.
And the only reason we have an influx is the airbase.
Yeah.
Because there's always new people coming in. So they have to live somewhere.
Right. And then the last point that homicides on average have doubled since he took office. And I pointed out, I said, per capita, Chicago has a lower murder rate than Montgomery. And I just looked it up for 2025. We're double Chicago. So I am safer flying to Chicago this weekend than I am driving around Montgomery. So we had 61 murders for 191,000 people last year. So it's over 30 murders per capita per 1,000. And then Chicago's 14. So and he interrupted me 3 times and he's like, that's not true. Chicago's not safer. I'm like,
meanwhile, in Troy, Troy City Schools coach arrested after allegation he had sex with student. This has been a recurring story this past week in schools in various locations.
Yeah.
But most of them have been women assaulting men. In fact, somebody got charged with rape involving a young boy.
Yeah, not too recent. There was a Prattville coach that was and arrested in that sting. With sex trafficking, yeah, it's
well, even Wetumpka has issues. The PD there, the shooting at the intersection of Coosa River Parkway and Highway 14. That's not good. What are some of the other headlines here? Did this happen in Montgomery? A 16-year-old motorcyclist suffers amputation of both feet after crashing into guardrail. Where did this happen? Oh, Knoxville Police Department. On I-40. I got to tell you, I see things on motorcycle. You know who hates that too is Terry Adams. Adams Motorsports, he sells bikes, and sometimes we'd be out in the back porch checking traffic, and one of those crotch rockets would come flying up 90, 100 miles an hour, weaving in between. He says,
I stopped a guy on Vaughan Road about 2 weeks ago. Young guy had a girl on the back of a crotch rocket, and she had a helmet on. He had no glasses and no helmet. And I've been a motorcycle rider my whole life, motorcycle safety officer with the military. And I said, dude, it's a state law. You have to have a helmet. He's like, what? And he had no license plate on it, drove off. He was wobbling. I'm like, this is just, I will not ride in Montgomery. This is the first place that I've ever lived that I haven't had a motorcycle. It's just a death sentence if you ride around here.
And let's see, what else do we have locally that might be of interest? That's about it for Montgomery news. It's the 540. Reminder, we are about to turn the corner. This may have been our last chill night. We're going to be into the 80s and 90s before you know it, and then the relentless blast of summer. If you don't have a relationship with an excellent firm that handles HVAC and plumbing, may I recommend you find $180 and invest it in Clark's. They'll come out twice to your house for that amount of money, that one-time payment. Inspect and tune the system, make sure it's clean, not wasting energy. There may be a need for repair on a component part, but you'll get that at a discount on parts and labor. And then they come back in the fall when the weather starts to get colder to make sure the first time you turn the heat on, your house doesn't smell like burnt toast or even worse. They help you actually save money on your electricity costs because they leave the system running clean and efficiently. And they employ some of the most, and I'm going to use the word dazzling. Their plumbers are just so amazing. They don't break a sweat, man. They know how to diagnose and apply a fix. And they, too, are available 24/7, 365 should something go wrong. So you have the benefit of the tune-ups and the peace of mind that comes with knowing the best HVAC techs and plumbers are a call away. And by the way, if you're considering buying a new system ahead of this next hot weather season, do it through Clark's. They carry some of the best brand names at 0% financing, and they install and service the unit. Mine paid for itself in less than 3 years. The new systems are so energy efficient, but when you want to change in temperature, you get it almost immediately. They're that good. And having it installed by the team that's going to take care of it, that's a bonus. Just a thought. 277-2125, 277-2125 into 334. You can also visit clarkcomfort.com. Their Alabama certification number is 09098. I see we have a call. Good afternoon.
Hey, it's Wade Tomka Jeff.
Hey.
You was talking about the roads in Montgomery a while ago.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story. My boss drives a Lexus, and he was driving a couple of weeks ago at night and hit a pothole so hard that it literally flew his hood up and did almost $6,000 worth of damage.
I hope he sues the city.
That's what I told him. But I don't know whether I think the insurance is paying for it, but that's crazy.
No, there's no excuse for the roads to be in this condition with the taxes we pay here. I mean, not to mention the fact, first of all, our street lights are so dim. We're the dim bulb city. They don't illuminate anything below. And so you don't see a pothole like that until it's too late. Got a few of those in my neighborhood as well. And it would be nice to have fresh white striping on some of our busier, curvy thoroughfares so people know where their lane is. Sometimes you can't see it. Depending on whether it's dusk or if it's raining, forget about it. Very dangerous.
I seen his car. It did some damage.
But we have initiatives galore. Those really...
It's like you said, where's the money going? If you're not paying for a fully staffed police department, you got plenty of available funds. So where's
forensic audit.
Yeah.
When Tuberville comes in. Cavalry's coming. Thanks for the call. All right, off to the traffic study. Blue Water News, the sky is next emergency forecast.
Well, around the Montgomery area, we're not really hearing of any accidents slowing things down. Traffic is very busy all around the Montgomery area. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka looking good. However, outbound from Montgomery on 65 northbound, right before Cobbs Ford Road, we have a grass fire that is really causing some issues. The right lane is closed on 65 northbound. That's right around mile marker 176 before Cobbs Ford. Please use caution there. We'll keep you updated. Is that cute puppy leaving presents all over your house? Call Vicky at Invisible Fence and ask about their indoor systems. Problem solved. 334-265-2585. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
News is brought to you by Bath Innovations. Call Bath Innovations today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Wetumpka police are investigating a Sunday afternoon shooting that left a person in critical condition. The shooting happened at the Rev convenience store at the intersection of Coosa River Parkway and Highway 14, where the victim was shot multiple times. According to Wetumpka Police Department, a suspect has been taken into custody. No additional details have been provided. Montgomery police continue to investigate a deadly Friday night shooting. MPD responded to the 3200 block of Mobile Highway just after 10 p.m. where an adult male had been shot. The unidentified victim was pronounced dead on the scene. No information regarding motive or suspect has been issued. The International Hot Rod Association has relocated the upcoming Outlaw Nitro Series event from Montgomery International Dragway. The decision follows a recent shooting at the Dragway prompted by an abundance of caution for safety. The event scheduled for May 7th through 9th in Montgomery will now take place in Hebron, Ohio. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Bath Innovations of Alabama can replace your old bathtub with a low-step shower featuring built-in seating, secure grab bars, and slip-resistant flooring, often installed in as little as 1 day. Call Bath Innovations of Alabama today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
Alabama's law enforcement leaders put their lives on the line every single day. They need an attorney general who has their back. Catherine Robertson has spent a decade on the front lines of Alabama's toughest battles. She doesn't bend, she doesn't back down, and she doesn't play politics. As attorney general, she'll make sure violent offenders are locked up and stay locked up. That's why sheriffs and police chiefs from every corner of this state are proudly standing behind Catherine Robertson for attorney general.
This is Catherine Robertson. I am honored to earn the trust of law enforcement. I've spent my career fighting for Alabama families, and I'm just getting started. I'll stand with President Trump to deport violent illegals and ensure our law enforcement has the support they need. Because in Alabama, if you commit a crime, you pay for it. No excuses. Visit CatherineForAG.com to join the fight.
Paid for by Robertson for Attorney General, P.O. Box 50063, Birmingham, Alabama 35253.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
Y'all hear about all those politicians making money in the stock market?
Yeah, that Nancy Pelosi's making a killing.
Yeah, she is, and so is Coach.
Tommy Tuberville?
Yeah, he and Pelosi are making millions. Turns out old Senator Tuberville's trading ag futures while he's on the ag committee.
Wow, Tommy Tuberville's making a killing in the stock market.
Yep, just like Nancy Pelosi.
It's all just a big game to Coach Tuberville.
In 2024, Tommy Tuberville made millions trading stocks, just in 1 year.
Wonder what else there is.
So Tommy Tuberville is making millions in the stock market, all in the industries he regulates.
Tommy Tuberville's great at making millions for himself.
Now I want to know.
Just how much money did Tommy Tuberville and Nancy Pelosi make for themselves in the stock market?
Why don't we ask him? Let's call Tommy Tuberville. Ask him how much money he made himself in the stock market.
And tell him, for us, it's not a game.
This advertisement is paid for by the Alabama Leadership Fund.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Well, hi, everybody. We are looking at a nice temperature rebound this week after that setback. Tonight, still jacket weather, though. Mostly clear skies. Overnight low temperature by dawn tomorrow morning down to 49. But a nice day tomorrow with plenty of sunshine. High temperature Tuesday up to about 82. I think we're in the mid-80s on Wednesday and Thursday with more sun. Small chance of showers pops up Friday, but a better chance of some stormy weather with showers and thunderstorms over the upcoming weekend. We'll keep an eye on that system for you. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Tom Moore and Greg, we got to spend a little time talking about your business before we wrap up. Somebody sent me this interesting cartoon about arguing with a liberal. You'll see, and I'm going to put this on the feed here. On the left, you have a male and a jackass on the right. The appropriate symbol for the Democrats. Let's give this a listen. All right, where is the volume on this? Okay, should be there. All right, I'm looking, and everything is pressed.
There we go. Oh, I heard it for a second.
It's now I'm pissed. Now I'm determined to make this work.
Sorry, Kevin Bacon wasn't in Footloose.
What? Of course he was.
No, he wasn't. You lose.
Of course he was. He was the star.
Nope, you're wrong. Look it up.
I don't have to look it up. It's common knowledge. He was on the cover of People magazine when the movie. Everyone knows Kevin Bacon was it was a huge movie. It was the lead.
Sorry, Kevin Bacon wasn't in Footloose.
Pretty good.
What? Of course he was.
That's
No, he
kinda how
wasn't.
it
You
works.
lose.
Yeah.
Of course he was. He was
And
the
they do it on
star.
the
Nope,
talk
you're wrong.
shows.
Look it
They
up.
just start
I don't
talking
have to look it up. It's
louder,
common
and they
knowledge. He was
shut
on the cover
up,
of
and they just
People
try to
magazine
keep
when the
up.
movie. Everyone knows
That's
Kevin
how they
Bacon was a star.
You believe that
It was a huge
87%
movie. He was the
Americans
lead.
support the
Doesn't surprise me.
Sorry, Kevin Bacon wasn't in Footloose.
What?
Yeah, it
Of course he
always
was.
surprises me
No,
because
he
if
wasn't.
you're
You
not
lose.
from Montgomery
Of course he was. He was
and you
the
drive
star.
around,
Nope,
the
you're wrong.
city
Look
is
it up.
just
I don't have to look it up. It's
cloud
common
over
knowledge.
it.
He was on the
Not
cover
good,
of
like,
No
not
People
good,
magazine
no,
when the
no,
movie.
weed,
Everyone
not
knows
good.
Kevin
Other
Bacon was a
cities
star.
smell
No,
good.
it was a
Their
huge
weed
movie.
products
He was the
smell
lead.
good. It's skunk around here. And how much people spend on that? It's not like a bag of
Sorry,
weed's not
Kevin
like
Bacon
going to
wasn't
get a
in
pack of
Footloose.
cigarettes.
What? Of course
So,
he was.
No, he
one,
wasn't. You lose.
How much money
Of course he was. He was the star.
Nope, you're wrong. Look it up.
I don't have to look it up. It's common knowledge. He was on the cover of No People magazine when the movie. Everyone knows Kevin Bacon was a star. It was a huge movie. He was the lead.
Kind of ambivalent on it until I saw a story. and
Sorry,
this is-
Kevin Bacon wasn't
when
in
they get their
Footloose.
way, it's
What?
like
Of course he was.
No,
Look at
he
how long
wasn't.
it
You
took
lose.
Of course he was. He was the
Prohibition to get
star.
rid of
Nope, you're wrong. Look it up.
America
I don't have
got
to look it
Trump
up. It's
the whole
common
time
knowledge.
it
He was on the
on.
cover of No
Some
People
people got in
magazine
trouble.
when the
Some
movie.
people died
Everyone knows
drinking
Kevin Bacon was a
bathtub
star.
gin.
It was a
But
huge
it didn't
movie. He was the
work.
lead.
And that's what happens when a small minority of people impose, gather the votes, they have the
Sorry,
political will,
Kevin
the
Bacon
energy,
wasn't in
and
Footloose.
they-
What? Of course he
we
was.
passed it
No,
almost
he
to make
wasn't.
them
You lose.
shut up.
Of course he was. He was the star.
Nope, you're wrong. Look it up.
I don't have to look it up. It's common knowledge. He was on the cover of No People magazine when the movie. Everyone knows Kevin Bacon was a star. It was a huge movie. He was the lead.
One of them
Sorry,
was,
Kevin Bacon wasn't in Footloose.
What? Of course he was.
No, he wasn't. You lose.
Of course he was. He was the star.
Nope, you're wrong. Look it up.
I don't have to look it up. It's common knowledge. He was on the cover of No People magazine when the movie. Everyone knows Kevin Bacon was a star. It was a huge movie. He was the lead.
Yes.
Sorry, Kevin Bacon wasn't in Footloose.
What? Of course he was.
No, he wasn't.
Years
You
ago,
lose.
this is a
Of
lame
course he was. He was the star.
Nope, you're wrong. Look it up.
I don't have to look it up. It's common knowledge. He was on the cover of No People magazine when the movie. Everyone knows Kevin Bacon was a star. It was a huge movie. He was the lead.
And it was a big deal down there. The woman was elder.
Sorry,
She had
Kevin Bacon
glaucoma.
wasn't in Footloose.
She was clearly
What? Of
not
course he
getting
was.
a party,
No,
but
he
she
wasn't.
came to the
You
radio
lose.
station
Of course he
and
was. He was the
brought her
star.
Nope, you're wrong.
prescription
Look it up.
bottle
I don't
with
have to look it up. It's
perfectly
common
rolled
knowledge. He was on the cover of
government-made
No People
marijuana
magazine
cigarette.
when the movie.
And I thought
Everyone
that
knows
was,
Kevin Bacon was a star. It was a huge movie. He was the lead.
If it's got a valid use there, yes, it absolutely should be.
Sorry, Kevin
to help
Bacon
people
wasn't
be
in
comfortable or
Footloose.
deal with
What?
a
Of course he
condition
was.
with
No, he
glaucoma.
wasn't.
We
You
were
lose.
behind the
Of course he was. He was the star.
Nope,
But,
you're wrong. Look it up.
Ray
I don't have to look it up. It's common knowledge. He was on the cover of No People magazine when the movie. Everyone knows Kevin Bacon was a star. It was a huge movie. He was the lead.
Sorry, Kevin Bacon wasn't in Footloose.
What? Of course he was.
No, he wasn't. You lose.
Of course he was. He was the star.
Nope, you're wrong. Look it up.
I don't have to look it up. It's common knowledge. He was on the cover of No People magazine when the movie. Everyone knows Kevin Bacon was a star. It was a huge movie. He was the lead.
You'll see him.
Sorry,
Tom
Kevin
Moore's
Bacon
been our
wasn't in
sidekick
Footloose.
today, and
What?
I
Of course he
urge
was.
you to
No, he
consider,
wasn't.
first
You
of all,
lose.
visit his
Of course he was.
store
He was the
online,
star.
trademark
Nope,
coins
you're
and
wrong. Look it up.
currency.com.
I don't have to look it up. It's
But it's
common
a really
knowledge. He was
cool
on the cover.
store.
No
It's
People
right now.
magazine when the movie.
No,
Everyone knows Kevin Bacon was a star of Footloose. No, it was a huge movie. He was the lead. Sorry, Kevin Bacon wasn't
Anyway,
in Footloose.
visit the store.
What? Of course he
It's
was. No, he wasn't. You lose. Of course he was. He was the star. Nope, you're wrong. Look it up. I don't have to look it up. It's common knowledge. He was on the cover of No People magazine when the movie. Everyone knows Kevin Bacon was a star of Footloose. It was a huge movie. He was the lead.
It's been a blessing. We have.
Sorry,
first of all,
Kevin
we have
Bacon wasn't in
best
Footloose.
coin shop in the
What?
River
Of course he
region,
was.
so that
No, he
awesome.
wasn't. You lose.
We're
Of course he was. He was the star. Nope, you're wrong. Look it up. I don't have to look it up. It's common knowledge. He was on the cover of No People magazine when the movie. Everyone knows Kevin Bacon was a star of Footloose. It was a huge movie. He was the lead.
Awesome.
Sorry, Kevin Bacon wasn't in Footloose. What?
But
Of course
I
he
can't say
was.
I'm
No,
surprised.
he wasn't. You lose. Of course he was. He was the star. Nope, you're wrong. Look it up. I don't have to look it up. It's common knowledge. He was on the cover of No People magazine when the movie. Everyone knows Kevin Bacon was a star of Footloose. It was a huge movie. He was the lead. Sorry, Kevin Bacon
Check it
wasn't
out.
in
It's trademark
Footloose.
coins and
What? Of course he was. No, he wasn't. You lose. Of course he was. He was the star. Nope, you're wrong. Look it up. I don't have to look it up. It's common knowledge. He was on the cover of No People magazine.
Interstates, boulevards, and all of our feeder hotels. We have a craft fire on 65 northbound right before Oxford Road. We believe that has been taken